your people, let their tongue be silenced. Let their tongue cleave to the root of their mouth. Anyone that speak evil of us, let their voice be discredited and silenced. Discredited and silenced. Anyone that imagine ill or evil of us by divine authority on the grounds of the blood of Jesus, according to the scriptures, as this is written, I command, let it boomerang, boomerang, boomerang. Put your hands and say boomerang, 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 boomerang. We intercept the waster. We waste the waster. We oppose opposition. In the name of Jesus, we resist the resistor. Thank you, Lord. As you live here, I declare you will not be wasted. Let the waster be wasted. Let every opposition be opposed. Let every resistance break. Live here with the upper hand. Have dominion. And now we send the blood of Jesus to your father's house, to your mother's house, to your background. Anything that lifts up his head against you, in the name of Jesus, we ground it in the blood of Jesus. We ground it in the name of Jesus. Above all, any condition, pattern and cycles that are contrary to the will of God, to the word of God, to the plan of God for your life, today on the grounds of the blood of Jesus, we intercept it. Put your hands and say interception, interception, intercept, interception, interception, interception. We intercept, intercept, intercept contradiction. We intercept contradiction. We command you in the name of Jesus as more than a conqueror. Tell somebody, I declare that you are more than a conqueror. Tell two people, I declare that you are more than a conqueror.
Tanumo onunchoni ha wodama chiechele wekun wani anutumo osole moji yake ubawo nani aya baba shushuishwe. Amen.
That's what I believe. See, his sunshine is all around us, and there are beautiful clouds where you are. That's how I know that these worries will not last. I can see you've been crying and staying wide awake, asking yourself why the journey is so tough. They say tough times never last, only tough people do. So don't stop believing, I know it's gonna be better. Say la, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, la, 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 ba-dum. Can't be loved by everybody, it's impossible, you know. And trust me, it's okay, so let the toxic people go. Your peace within is more priceless than a pearl. You got to be happy, cause life's just way too short. Don't stress the little things, they will only waste your time. Just take it easy, easy like a nursery rhyme. And I'm singing, I know it's gonna be okay. So I wanna see you smile today. Hey, you just gotta be happy, man. Good days, bad days, it's all part of life. But you must keep the groove on and enjoy every single day. I'm sure you've had some happy days before. So what makes you think you can't have more? Keep on fighting and you'll see. You will soon see rainbows. Hey, come on. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. La 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 la. La 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 la. Beautiful clouds, where you are, there are beautiful clouds, where you are, oh, oh.
So if you look at the flood, see the speed at which it's moving, the current is crazy. And this is something I mentioned last week on radio, that Accra is not just flooding, but the currents are increasing. And this is a typical current that if a child falls in, trust me, it can take the child away. And so one of the risks we are facing in Accra right now is not just flooding, but increasing currents of the flood waters. And it's something which is crazy and something we really need to pay attention to.
Aha, mwaka half of bear. Papa.
Take this report, this select committee report, to the policy committee on agriculture, food security, and agribusiness. That is the policy committee. And we are going to ask this committee to technically review the findings of your report.
And it's my hope that we'll be able to acquire some of these for our farmers. Now, farming and agriculture is becoming increasingly mechanized. The hoe and cutlass agriculture is gone. And so we need to provide centers where the farmers can come and get the services of the machines. The farmers don't need to own the machines, but if they need the service of a tractor or a combined harvester, they are able to do it. And what I've seen here is very impressive. These are beautiful machines. We just have to make sure that the after-sales service is perfect so that the machines can be maintained so that they can stay and work for a long time.
Good morning, followers of the Ghana National Fire Service page. This is Radio Boom Alex Kenyatta coming to you from coming to live from the motorway where a tipper truck and a fuel tanker have been involved in a head-on collision. As it stands now, our men are trying to do the extrication of the one bent body in this the head, which is believed to be the head of the tipper truck, which has fallen off. Unfortunately, the driver is bent beyond recognition. So this is the scene at the Tema motorway, as our officers have been able to make sure that the tanker is extinguished without any further damage. So as it stands now, this is the bent tanker, which our officers worked so hard to make sure that the situation is put under control. For now, it's been speculated that a lady might have been in this car in the bend, but for now we can't tell until we're able to fully figure it out. But this is the head of the tipper truck and the driver.
We think that a time has come in our country where we all should call a spade and be honest and blunt in condemning this kind of conduct in our country, and call on the government to stop the persecution of citizens who exercise their right of free speech. I thank you very much. And indeed, I see that the Minister of Communication is here to lend his support to the state.
I mean, preparations so far, are you in tune with the level of preparations? What do you think the prospects will be for the Black Stars?
Well, I think preparation has been good, even though our coach appointment came a bit late. He's done quite well. There's good spirit in camp. They are training very heavily, and we do promise Ghanaians that something good will come out. Even though if you look at the expectations and those who are doing all the analysis, they claim that Ghana is the least after Iraq to make any headway, but we are going to make a lot of headways.
It means that you are raising the expectations of Ghanaians high, but if that doesn't happen,
well, that is what we wish that happens. All the 48 teams that are in the Mundial are there to win. Yeah. Ghana is also there to win. Just pray.
We don't have some key players, Kudus.
Well, we have a team. What is most important is that we have a team. It's unfortunate we don't have the Jikus, we don't have the Kudus, and then what have you. But we have a team.
Yes. So where do you think this team will travel past?
I think the team is going to go very far. Well, the team is going to go very far. And who knows, we can return home with a trophy. What about that?
Are you that very optimistic?
Well, we are part of the 48 who are chasing the trophy.
Okay. Yeah. So at this moment, as the tournament begins in the next few hours, what do you want to tell Ghanaians?
Well, I want Ghanaians, for all of us to support the team, all of us to pray for the team. We are not in there to play, but we can pray for them. Thank you.
It's a great honor and pleasure for me to join you. I bring you warm greetings and the goodwill of the people of Ghana to the government and people of Belarus. This visit marks an important moment in the relations between our two countries. It provides us an opportunity to reaffirm our shared commitment to building a modern and forward-looking partnership that is founded on mutual respect, sovereign equality, and practical cooperation. Though geographically distanced, Ghana and Belarus are united by a common aspiration, the desire to create prosperity for our people, strengthen economic resilience, advance technological progress, and build inclusive societies capable of meeting the challenges of the 21st century. I'm particularly pleased that this visit has resulted in the signing of important bilateral agreements in the form of 3 memoranda of understanding. These MOUs represent more than just diplomatic achievements. They will establish the practical framework for our governments, institutions, and private sector to collaborate more effectively. They will facilitate greater exchange between our people. They will reduce barriers to official engagements, promote trade and investment, and create new opportunities
for economic growth and technological cooperation. By combining Ghana's agricultural potential with Belarusian expertise and innovation, we can create partnerships that contribute to food security, industrial growth, and shared prosperity. We therefore welcome greater engagement between the business communities of Ghana and Belarus and encourage our private sectors to explore partnerships that will generate jobs, facilitate knowledge exchange, and deepen economic ties. The true measure of our success, however, will not be the agreements we have just signed today, but the concrete benefits they will deliver to our citizens in the year ahead. Ghana stands ready to work closely with Belarus to ensure the effective implementation of these agreements and to identify additional areas where our cooperation can grow and flourish.
Been out of the country for some number of days now, exchanging pleasantries and also signing some agreements which we'll be bringing to you pretty shortly. But indeed, he'll be back with all of that back here on the Ghanaian soil after a significant diplomatic tour. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will return with agreements, as I intimated, and renewed partnerships. If indeed you take a look at what we witnessed in the last few days, his visit to the United Kingdom and Belarus precisely focused on strengthening economic cooperation, attracting investment, and also opening fresh avenues for development. Of course, we are here to bring you all the live update, live pictures and videos with regards to the arrival of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Many have described this visit to UK and also Belarus as very significant in the history of Ghana, as well as the two nations that are concerned. And as you can also see on the screen, just a recap of the event that happened while the president was out of the country. Now, if you take a critical look at it, back in the United Kingdom, the president was at the London Stock Exchange. He also visited the 10 Downing Street. He was also at the partnership program and also the stock speech, as you have them on the screen. That's the event as far as the moment he spent in the United Kingdom. Is Mahama will be arriving, and this is actually the background here at the Jubilee Lounge. The screen, that is the aircraft in which His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and his team will be coming out from. Hopefully we get to hear the very good news. But one thing that stands out tall has to do with the arrangements with the agri sector, just limited to a particular sector, but it cuts across. Remember, one thing that he is bent on doing is resetting the Ghana agenda. It's so right to happen, just as we always do it here on Wezo TV. There you see the vice president also walking, towards the airplane where the exports as well. So you can see, maybe do they offer prayers? Hopefully, once the plane touches down before he comes out, definitely that will be done. There you have it. It's opened, and the man everyone has been waiting for in a jiffy will come out to that welcome by Her Excellency the Vice President. The media team of the President is also in attendance, waiting to capture that historic moment. So as I mentioned, a lot of people have described this visit to UK and Belarus as very historic. There in your shot you have the Deputy Chief of Staff who just came out of the plane, and then who is next to come out. As I mentioned, security is intact. The President's team is also set. Gradually they are coming out of the plane as well. Alright, so just a highlight of what we saw in Belarus on your screen. Then walking majestically, calmly, together with the Vice President. As you can see in your shot, most definitely briefings will happen. He ought to give that report to the Vice President, who the country has signed with these two nations. You talk about the United Kingdom and also Belarus. And the President keeps on explaining. I mean, like, he keeps telling a story, you know, and he comes with some practical aspect of it. You know, or two from him. Yes, the Vice President is asked to draw a bit closer to her boss.
We are happy to be back home. Home sweet home. Home is always the best place to be. But we live in a community of nations, and we have interactions with other nations. We normally receive loads of invitations to visit, but we're careful to choose the ones that will be the most economically and diplomatically beneficial to both our two countries. And so we accepted an invitation to visit the United Kingdom. It was in respect of the Ghana Investment Summit, which is a summit that is held regularly in the UK. And it is attended by investors not only from the UK but from across Europe. It's become almost an EU affair. And so it was very well attended. GIPC, GEPA, and all of them were behind the Free Zones Board, all of them. And it was oversubscribed, actually. And there was a lot of interest because of Ghana's recent economic performance. The investor climate has improved, and so many companies are looking favorably in terms of what opportunities are available for them to invest. On the sidelines of this summit, we signed the Ghana-UK Growth Partnership Agreement. We're moving our relationship from one of dependency to one of trade and investments, and this is one of the foundations of that new relationship. And under that growth and investment agreement, we signed an agreement to set up a first commercial scale ship repair yard in Takoradi, close to the harbour, in order to integrate the whole of that western corridor in terms of marine activity. And that's a £101 million project, and it will create the Takoradi floating dock for ship repair. In addition, we also signed an agreement for commercial afforestation in the OT region. Also training of AI. You remember we recently outdoored our AI strategy, and so we're going to collaborate with UK in terms of expanding training in AI. Our AI strategy is headlined AI for Good, and so we'll work together to make sure that AI is beneficial to Ghana. There's also a component for training clinical healthcare engineers to man biomedical equipment. One of our major setbacks has been that anytime we purchase biomedical equipment, their maintenance and repair has been a major problem. So you provide it to the hospital, and in a year or two it's broken down. And so that's one area we're going to focus training for engineers to be able to maintain our biomedical equipment. We had a bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Keir Starmer. We discussed political issues, economic issues, and of course also security issues in respect of the Sahel and all that. And then I had a meeting with King Charles, and there again he discussed a lot of issues to do with Ghana. He's visited here several times, so he had a very, very photographic memory of our country, and he's very well up to date about what is happening all over the world, and so that was interesting. I also took the opportunity to visit Ghanaian enterprises working in UK, and it was interesting. We got some wache from the wache joint, and then we also visited a family business, which is a bakery, very well reputed in London. They supply Ghanaian bread, Ben's bread, tea bread, the bread that we're used to. They supply to many outlets across the length and breadth of London. One of the high points of the visit was the London Stock Exchange. I was given the privilege to ring the bell. Now it's not a bell, it's a button, to press the button for the exchange to start. And we were giving that honor because of the performance of the Ghana Stock Exchange last year. It was adjudged one of the best performing stock exchanges after South Africa. And after a long time of scarcity, it has started listing again. First Atlantic Bank listed recently, Zen Petroleum listed, and they are preparing for the listing of Casapreco. And so there was quite a lot of interest in that regard. And so that was the UK visit. We also got an invitation to visit Belarus. And before I left, when I spoke to several people, they said, now Belarus, and also but you'll be shocked at, that country's progress. They were part of the Soviet Union, and while they were part of the Soviet Union, they were the part of the Soviet Union that was focused on production of agricultural equipment for the whole USSR. After the breakup of the USSR, that's an occupational hazard at the airport, and incidentally was South African Airways. And so after the breakup of the Soviet Union, they maintained the competence of building first-class agricultural equipment. And so we signed an MOU for supply of agricultural tractors, combine harvesters, plows, harrows, boom sprayers, and modern agricultural equipment as part of our program for the farmers service centers to provide mechanization for our farmers. But not only that, they are looking at the whole value chain. So they say it's not enough to have good equipment. It is the agronomy and the seeds and the fertilizer and everything, how you manage the farm, and they are very good at farm management.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now. Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right, good morning. Thank you very much for joining the show. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Aldo Moro. It's always a pleasure to come your way. It's a fantastic Wednesday morning, fantastic for the simple reason that we're still alive and kicking, and we want to say a big thanks to the Almighty God for making that possible. We also want to say a big thanks to you for watching the show, 7 a.m. to 9:55. We're grateful that you're able to make time. You're very busy, but you make time to watch us. It's because of the quality of the conversations that we have here. And we always, we're not against criticisms. Sometimes when we watch some of the comments that you make online, we take all of that, into consideration. We take all of that seriously, and it's only meant to help us to improve. So keep them coming, keep the criticism coming, keep the opinion and views that you express about the show coming. We like that. Feedback is important in this in this business, and for that matter, every other business that you're running. My name once again is Aldo Moro. Thank you very much for tuning in. Remember that the show is also live on 94.1 FM. So please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that the Good Morning Ghana is also live on 94.1 FM. I also want to say that AH Cafe is proudly associated with the Good Morning Ghana show. AH Cafe is one of the most talked about, one of the most talked about places in town if you want very tasty meals at affordable prices. Check out AH Cafe. They're right here on the premises of the Ignite Media Group. They have some lovely stuff here, and you may want to check them out one of these days if you are not far from town. Even if you are, you can just call them. I'll give you the contact number. Call them and order whatever food you want to order, and thank me later. So, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Let me start with the Ghanaian Times today. Today was Daily Graphic. I don't know what's happening to Daily Graphic. They don't appear to be on the stands. At least where we buy our papers, they are not there. But we have Ghanaian Times. So I'll start with the Ghanaian Times today. It says over 4,000 drivers denied licenses after mandatory eye test last year, according to DVLA. And as government offers tax incentives for factories outside Accra, ex-Maslock CEO extradited to serve 10-year jail term. GMA distributes 20,000 life jackets, deploys 200 guards. Daily Guide, it says that Afarinik distributes 400,000 free cocoa seedlings to VR farmers. U.S. extradites ex-Maslock boss to serve 10-year jail term. Minority condemns arrest of NPP members. Charles Bisu case, court rejects portions of OSP key witness testimony. Rambo teacher caged for assaulting female student. The New Crusading Guide says that standoff brews between Sunyani Hene and Doma Hene over illegal mining site. YKGL outperformed 29 operators, and there's Afarinik established Ghana's largest sustainable commercial cocoa plantation. And there's a Tetegu residents upset as authorities fail to dredge the Densu River, and then also the estuary. Anodompre donates 208,745 to expand the Sawam Government Hospital OPD. Chebi Police Commander under fire over death of 24-year-old gold dealer. Citizen to Supreme Court, stop payment of DACF cash to MPs. Mahama to cut sword for Sentio Phase 2 on June 24 as refinery calls for concrete roads to transform them as heavy industrial enclave. Floods in Accra. Mahama orders nationwide assessment as GMET wants or more rains. Upper West Akim MP highlight education, energy and sanitation gains, calls for ECG district office. Parliament alarmed over Accra's dominance of Ghana's economy. And then there's Ghana Federation of Labour welcomes ICJ ruling affirming workers' right to strike. Kofi Tuadam III outlines vision to rebuild and transform Abola traditional area. Responsible mining era dawns as RCOMSDEP takes root in Achim Kotoku. That's with the insight for today. And then the Herald this morning is reporting that ex-Maxlock boss's lawyers reveal Godfrey Dami and trial judge knew his serious illness. Medical reports were before court ahead of U.S. trip. Ghana losing over 1 billion cedis annually to illegal gambling. NLA chief wants advocates stronger law and technology. Dead suspect, missing phone, damaged CCTV, spark questions to IGP in Queen Mother's murder at Tebubu. NPA targets 50% LBG access by 2030 as safety campaign intensifies. Bahama cracks down on buildings and waterways after Accra floods. The Ghanaian publisher says Edubwa in a trial, court allows key email evidence. Citizen moves to block DACF payments to MPs. There's IEAG hails ICAM's impact on port operations, and there's NDC 2028 raise Pratt questions credentials of hopefuls. Well, he said that on this show several times, so yeah. The Accra Times has the picture of the former national chairman of the NPP, Mr. Paul Afoko, and he says Afoko pushes 3 R's agenda for NPP revival, calls for unity and strategic planning. I've looked at his 3R agenda, not bad at all. I think it's forward-looking, it's is interesting as well. I think they're solid ideas. You may want to check them out in today's Accra Times. Go back to work. Embattled CAST CEO cries for staff. NPA marks World LPG Day 2026, commits to expand access and improve safety. The new center, Elvis Darko's new center, says JHS graduates another drown in Trofo at Timokwa Rivers. Supreme Court asked to stop DACF transfers to MPs after Sedina Ofori Atta. Dr. Yine heads to Washington for deal to exchanging for Ghanaians wanted by USA, and also Public Leadership, Ethics, Accountability Ministers Awards. Wishes and dreams will not move AI forward in Africa. And then you have the custodian that says that declare DACF payments to MPs illegal. Ghanaian citizen to Supreme Court. Anodompre donates 208,7454 in Sawam Hospital OPD expansion. What is presidential about them? Kwesi Pratt questions credentials of NDC aspirants. Lands Minister launches small-scale mining scheme, and as World Cup 2026 kicks off tomorrow. We can't wait, can we? I think Mexico comes up. I think Mexico plays America. It's South Africa, right? Okay, plays America tomorrow. Yeah, I think it's happening in Los Angeles. Is it? Yes, I think so. And then there's waste managers edge. Oh yeah, Mexico we have Mexico, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. So that's it. Really? Okay. There's waste managers edge sustainable funding for Accra sanitation, and there's declare DACF payments to MPs illegal. Ghanaian citizen to Supreme Court. Daily Post says that President Mahama returns home from state visits to the UK and Belarus. Ghana Maritime Authority commissions 170 safety guards. This Mahama orders NATMO to map restricted lands to curb flooding risk in Accra. As government launches cooperative mining scheme to promote responsible small-scale mining. My Jaw Online this morning says the assurances were good. Ashanti Regional Chair of GRNMA on suspended industrial action. And then there's also Mahama orders NADMO to map restricted lands to curb flooding risk in Accra. The City Newsroom says Mahama reveals list of 808 staff at Jubilee House, full breakdown, and as BOG absorbs 17.2 billion cedis in liquidity and inflation fight FX stability. If you go to Ghana Web, it says he had the effrontery to call me a struggling lawyer. Bible clashes with Glover. 2 of my 5 children are not mine. Veteran actor Taufik shares painful experience. We keep hearing these things all the time. Details of ex-Maslock CEO's appeal to overturn 10-year sentence. Appeal is very much alive. Anyway, so that's it for now. Those of you been asking about Metro TV Online, we have a bit of a technical challenge, and so the website has not been up in the last, I guess, in the last 48 hours or so. But our technical team is working around the clock to put it back on. So please bear with us. We're so sorry, and any inconvenience caused is deeply regretted. We know you love MetroTVOnline.com, but we're so sorry. We'll fix it as soon as possible, and it will come back better and let's say sweeter. Right, my guests are here. Please stay with us.
Tanumo onunchoni ha odama chiechele wekun mayanu chumo osole moji ake obawo nani aya baba shoshoeshe. Amen.
At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy. Specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2 and 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, and who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to a mammy man for Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is several buying, and maniswing, Nesansu Mama Hoto so a will bedroom.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Mommy, good morning.
Good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
Joe, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally? Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery. Laparoscopic colon surgery, which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, first Ghana Colorectal Center, aimed to serve a peculiar health need.
Hey buddy, it's me Azar.
Yeah, me now they see. Hey, you don't look fresh. Oh.
Hey.
With your label today.
Wait till you see what's inside me.
Azar, freshly made inside and out for greater coverage and colors that last longer and beautify your walls, spaces and places. Azar, no size. Go ahead. Buy now. Azar, #1 from Azar Group since 1921.
Grab your bottle and unleash the taste of Storm Energy Drink. A bold flavor, a big attitude, feel the vibe, own the moment. It's your time to be different. Storm Energy Drink, make your mark.
Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health, not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kelkit Toothpaste. Wow. I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kelkits. Happy smile.
Madam, I'm looking for Abena.
Abena, there's someone looking for you.
Madam, please, where's Abena?
Abena, yes, ma'am. Is this who you are looking for?
Madam, please get me Abena. Please.
Della. Abena bra.
Oh, Abena. If it's not Abena rice, I can't eat any of that.
Abena rice. FDA ajejade nkratso yatsum.
Attention all farmers, horticulturists and landscapers. Are you ready to take your crop production to the next level? Introducing the ACAP Grade A and Compost Plus for nursing your seeds. K-Cap Equiafuajenkwa for the growth and maturity stage of your crops, while the Aricop Compost Premium takes care of your cash crops. Available at all agri distribution centers across the country. For your purchase and more information, call the following numbers: 054-400-4486 or 020-955-5497. Our products are certified by Cocoa Board and the Ministry of Food and Agriculture.
West Africa stands at a defining crossroads. A region rich in opportunity, yet challenged by fragmentation, policy divergence, and structural constraints that continue to limit its full potential. The African Continental Free Trade Area offers a historic pathway to unlock trade, strengthen regional value chains, and accelerate economic transformation. But today, the question is no longer what to do, it is how to deliver. Join live on 30th June 2026 at 11 o'clock GMT on Metro TV Ghana, DSTV Channel 277 and EBIT's digital platforms for the 5th edition of the President's Round Table on the theme Financing Integration in a Fragmenting Region, Making AFCFTA Work for West Africa. This high-level dialogue is designed to move beyond discussion and drive action, to identify bankable cross-border anchor projects that deliver tangible impact within the next 12 to 24 months. From transport and logistics corridors to digital trade systems to export-oriented manufacturing value chains, this roundtable will spotlight solutions that transform ambition into measurable results. Participants will address critical questions. How do we unlock financing for regional projects? How do we overcome regulatory barriers? How do we secure strong joint sovereign commitments? This exclusive event, broadcast live from the Metro TV studios in Accra and convened by Dr. George Ejekum Donko, President and Chairman of the Board of Directors of EBIT, will assemble policymakers under the theme Financing Integration in a Fragmenting Region, Making AFCFTA Work for West Africa. The vision is clear. The opportunities are real. Now it's time to deliver. Tune in on 30th June 2026 at 11 o'clock GMT on Metro TV Ghana, DSTV Channel 277 and EBIT's digital platforms for the 5th edition of the President's Round Table. Mark your calendar and stay updated on this event via EBIT's digital platforms. ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development. EBIT. Transforming ECOWAS communities.
Go Black Stars, go all the way till the end, to victory. We'll keep on cheering you until you have the trophy in your hands. Go Black Stars all the way. Football, it unites all of us. There is no escape from the medium of football. It unites all Ghanaian, it unites all Africa. And this time we are praying for Africa to make an impact, starting with Ghana leading the way. So watch it and support the Black Stars all the way. If your choice is Metro TV, good for you.
Catch every moment loud and live on Metro TV, Original TV, and Original 91.9 FM.
Watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. The show is also live on 94.1 FM. My name is Audu Moro. My guests are here and we'll kickstart a conversation. Andrew Egyapa-Mensah is a former MP for Sekondi, a former Deputy Minister for Energy, and also a former Deputy Minister for the Creative Arts. It's a long one, I just say Creative Arts. Minister for Tourism and Creative Arts. He's here with us. He's also a private legal practitioner. Boss, good morning. It's good to see you.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Good. And also Uncle Kwesi, as we affectionately call him, but of course, officially he's Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr., former managing editor of the Insight newspaper and also a seasoned and veteran journalist. Uncle Kwesi, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Always good to see you. Good. So, you know, we whether we like it or not.
Before we go, I thought that we had crossed this, murdering my surname.
Oh, it's Mesa.
Medite.
Oh, it's Mesa.
No, it's not Mesa.
It's a Mesa.
Mesa, yes.
Oh, Mesa.
Yes.
I promise you, this will be the last time you correct you correcting me. Mesa. You say in America, I got it. Mesa.
Yes.
Yeah. Like we say, Mr. Mesa. Okay, makes it easier for me to remember.
Good.
So Andy, how is your internal contest going? And maybe this morning I want us to just spend just some small time on the maybe General Secretary and the National Chairman. I think that I'm told KJ4 says she's not going anymore. She is, I don't know what her reasons are, but she's not contesting anymore. But I think that for most people, the focus really is on the National Chairmanship race and the General Secretary. Because there are people who are for continuity, which is Kudia continue, Petwaso, and there are those who say Kudia should give way for somebody else to go. But generally speaking, would you say you've been impressed with the contest thus far, the names that have popped up, the messaging, etc.?
Well, I suppose that consistent with the provisions of our constitution, as we all know, undertaking our reorganization. We've concluded with the polling station executive elections. This week, we are holding the coordinators. Then after that, we'll do the constituency executives, regional executives, and of course, the national elections sometime in September to bring the entire process to a close. I personally have declared for Honorable Boakye Jarko.
Okay, why?
Well, I have looked at the stock of people who have put themselves up. And I think that where we are as a party now, some members of our core base, intellectual class, feel that the party that they knew in the past is not the party that they see today. I think that Boakye Jarko represents the image of the MPP that many people, including myself growing up, knew and fell in love with. And so he coming on board to complement our flag bearer will put us in a better position to fight the NDC in the 2020 general elections. And so I've thrown my weight behind him. Indeed, he's asked me to be his regional coordinator for Western region, which I've accepted. But of course, I mean, John is a good material. He's worked for the party for the longest. We do. It's my mate from Komawoto, a very good friend of mine. Good material by all means. Afoko has been chairman before, had his issues at the time. Some disciplinary measures were taken against him. He feels that he has something within him that he still has to offer for the party. And so he has also thrown his hat in the race. And of course, my good friend, Chairman Woodumi as well. But let's see how the party generally will decide. Okay, for me, the most important personality in the party is our flag bearer. And I supported Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for the flag bearership race, and he won. So all our efforts is to work to ensure that he becomes the next president of Ghana. Every other position for me is complementary. It's only to complement the flag bearer. So let's see how things will play out as we get into the thick of things in the coming months.
There are some people who are wondering why for a conservative party like the NPP and the party which likes to position itself as a party of the elite would even be happy to see someone the Ashanti regional chairman contesting to become the national chairman of the party when we all know what his limitations are. Do you think that's a fair point for anybody to make?
I don't think so, because the NPP is a mass party. Eligibility criteria for contesting offices within the party is not defined by the background necessarily of the people who offer themselves. So to that extent, I don't think that is not a good fit, if you like. But then again, like I said, I have my own views of how the MPP ought to look like. Others have different views, okay? And so that's the beauty of democracy. We all have a right to offer ourselves for certain offices. The party would evaluate our strengths, our weaknesses, which we all have, and then make a determination on the day of the election. And so that's my take on the matter.
And speaking about messaging, I'll bring you Mr. Kwesi Pratt. Speaking about messaging, I've just realized that today's Accra Times reports that Afoko has been pushing for 3 hours. He calls it 3 hours agenda for MPP revival, and is calling for unity and strategic planning. And I'm just going to read 2 paragraphs, and I can bring in Mr. Kwesi Pratt. And it says, Snasimon Avabe Gyanab. I hope I got the pronunciation of the name correctly. It says, former New Patriotic Party National Chairman aspirant, Mr. Wentami Paul Afoko has concluded the first phase of his nationwide listening and engagement tour with party elders, using the opportunity to rally support for his proposed 3 hours agenda and calling for greater unity within the party ahead of the 2028 general elections. The tour, which ended in the Volta region of 3 regions, formed part of a broader effort by Mr. Afoko to consult key stakeholders of the party across all 16 regions of the country and gather views on the future direction of the MPP. Addressing party elders during the final leg of the exercise, Mr. Afoko emphasized the need for members of the party to place the collective interest of the MPP above personal emotions if the party is to regain political power in 2028. According to him, the MPP must focus on strategic planning, internal cohesion, and reconciliation to position itself as a credible alternative for the Ghanaian electorate. If the MPP genuinely believes it can return to power in 2028, then there is a need for members to set aside emotions and plan with their heads rather than their emotions. Mr. Afoko knows that rebuilding unity within the party remains a top priority, stressing that strong internal relationships and collaborations would be essential in preparing the MPP for future electoral contests. He explains that his decision to seek a leadership role within the party is driven by that desire to help reconnect party members and build bridges capable of strengthening the party's fortunes. And I quote him, "Our priority must be to reunite the party and build the right bridges ahead of 2028. Now, Mr. Foko maintains that the NPP continues to possess the ideas and policies needed to contribute to Ghana's development, but adds that the electorate must first see the party as a disciplined and united political organization capable of governing effectively." Mr. Kwesi Pratt, first of all, what are your general thoughts? I mean, from where you sit, observing how the campaign has been going. So there's the Ashanti Regional Chairman, Chairman Wuntumi, there's Mr. Boache Jakun, there's Mr. Paul Afoko, there's John Boyd. I think so far these are the four names that have come up quite strongly. What do you make of the contest so far, and also what Mr. Poko has been saying about unity, discipline, and reconnecting to the party's ideals if the party indeed wants to come back to power in 2028?
Well, I think, first of all, there is an issue about the definition of elite.
Okay.
And I've seen a video of Wuntumi, in which he actually describes himself as an elite and predicts that when he becomes national chairman of the party will be led by the elites.
Okay.
And the elites, as he defines, will be himself and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Okay, so it depends on what you think the elite is. I would want to suggest very strongly that the definition of elite cannot be limited to educational qualification or the ability to rattle English and so on. There are all kinds of ways in which you can define elite. And if you're defining elite, on the basis of the size of one's pocket and so on, Mr. Wuntumi, Mr. Ntwi-Bosiakun would qualify as an elite, So clearly, I mean, his selection would not indicate that the elite in the party do not hold sway or so on. I think it's not about that.
Right.
So that's very clear.
Right.
The other thing for me is not really about which specific individual is going to lead the New Patriotic Party. Because the 2028 elections is going to be partly about history. It's going to be about identity. It's going to be about performance or expected performance and so on. So many people are going to look at the New Patriotic Party, they're going to look at the National Democratic Congress and make a decision as to which one of these parties has performed remarkably when given the chance. And there's no doubt at all that there are many people, even within the New Patriotic Party, who believe that the party could have done better in the 8 years that it served this country. There are many people who strongly believe that the party could have done much better. Now, given the level of defeat that the party suffered in the last elections, I think it becomes important to look for people who have publicly expressed their discomfort with the performance of the party in the past. It gives them credibility. They are the only people who can come and say, look, we can do much better. If you bring people in who justified everything that happened, who thought that the party was doing excellently well and so on, you end up disabled. Ab initio, you're disabled. So it's important to get people in who can come and say, well, when it was happening, we saw it. And we thought that there were better ways of doing it. Here is the New Patriotic Party. If you give us a chance, we'll do better than we did in those 8 years, which resulted in this massive defeat. So that's going to be very important in who is selected. If the party ends up selecting die-hard advocates who saw nothing wrong in that period and who probably even think that the electorate made a mistake in electing the National Democratic Congress, I suspect that there will be some problem and so on. Okay. Again, whoever you elect ought to be able to demonstrate a commitment to uniting the party. Because as we all do know, it's not a secret that there are factions within the party. There are factions in all parties. But it appears to be especially pronounced, given what the New Patriotic Party has gone through. So you need people, personalities, who will be able to send a signal out there that they have the capacity to pull the different sides of the party together. So that's going to be very important. The New Patriotic Party, especially because of its long history, has symbolic pillars. Whoever emerges ought to be able to relate to all of these symbolic pillars. And you know what I mean, the symbolic pillars. For example, today, former President J. Kufuor represents a significant symbolic figure within the party. You understand? Take it or leave it. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo also represents a very symbolic figure within the party. And I can go on and use history to explain. If you take President Kufuor, he comes directly from the Busia tradition within the party, the hardcore UP tradition within the party. If you take Nana Akufo-Addo, it doesn't come from the hardcore UP tradition. If you trace his history and so on, first of all, he started off his politics as an Nkrumahist, a member of the Convention People's Party. 1979, he did not belong to the mainstream. 1969, was a keen supporter of people like William Oforiatta and others who formed I think it was the United National Convention, and so on. So it doesn't come from a strictly traditional UP setting. But interestingly, that has become a symbolic pillar within the New Patriotic Party now. And then there are others you can identify. It's a long list, The party itself makes reference to the Dumbo tradition. And it's important to recognize that the Dumbo tradition was not originally, UP as such, and so on. It came on board from the Northern People's Party and represents a certain regional dimension of the party and so on. So these symbolic figures or symbolic pillars are important in what the outcome, of the elections would be. Now, be that as it may, again, I think one will be looking at a certain factor, which is simply respectability. Respectability is going to be a very key factor. Who amongst the candidates brings stature, which may equate to respectability and so on? And it's an important factor. I'm clear in my mind who brings that on board. Very clear in my mind who brings that on board, but I'm not going to say it.
Why?
It's not important. What I say is not important.
Well, it may be to some delegates who are watching you.
No, but they can make up their own mind.
They haven't decided. Yeah, there's still someone decided.
Respectability is going to be extremely important. Now,
which of them do you think possess that? At least I've given you 4 names.
Well,
there's Wontumi, there's Boakye Jarko, there's...
Don't push me to name particular persons.
Is it Mr. Paul Afoko?
But we're going to be looking, in determining respectability, we are going to be looking at people's background,
right,
what portfolios they've handled before, how they are generally rated in the different communities that we have in Ghana, academia, business, and so on. Their levels of articulation, whether or not indeed what they say makes technical sense.
What does that mean?
For example, in discussions of the economy.
Okay.
If you are going to campaign and say, oh, they say inflation has gone down, it's not reflecting in pockets and so on, that's pedestrian. It may be effective on the streets and so on, but that's pedestrian. Because you can say that about every and any government. And it really doesn't go to the core of whether the socio-economic problems of this country are being addressed or not. Okay.
It appears the demographic has changed. It doesn't look like the delegates, these things really matter to them. You don't think so?
But it should matter to the nation.
Really?
It should matter
but
to
you
the
must,
nation.
You must win. You must come out of your party first.
If you're contesting party elections and you don't have an eye on the national agenda, you become a danger to yourself and to your party.
It's the delegates.
I know what you're talking about. But now we do know, also as a fact, that the things which influence delegates are largely financial incentives.
Thank you.
That's
Now
not financial
Now we're
incentives.
speaking the same language, Uncle Z.
We know
Yes,
that. We
yes.
know that. But the candidates themselves ought to go above that.
I agree.
You know, otherwise politics is reduced to a game of upstarts and vagabonds.
Yeah.
You understand? And I think we need to move beyond this perception of our politics being a game of vagabonds and upstarts and so on. And the only way to do that is to bring credible people on board and so on. Look, Moro, and I think I can say it publicly.
Okay.
You know, I'm one of the people who actually persuaded Boakye Agyarko not to contest for the presidential, not to take part in the presidential contest.
Why? Why did you do that?
And I'll tell you why. Because at that time, everywhere in the party, everybody saw him as an automatic national chairman of the party.
I see.
He himself will tell you that wherever he went to campaign, people told him to abandon the presidential campaign and that being national chairman of the party was almost automatic. You know, so I had a telephone conversation with him. He's been my friend for a long time. But for some reasons, we've not been in contact also for personal, physical contact for a very long time.
Okay.
So we had a conversation on the telephone. I said, my friend, why are you wasting your time contesting presidential elections? You know. And his reaction was that he wants to influence the party, he wants to change the party, and so on. Cannot do that as a national chairman. But some things have changed. Constitutional amendments in the party appear to give the national chairman more powers than any national chairman has had.
Not appear, it's there.
Well, I'm choosing my words carefully.
Yes.
You know, since 1992.
Yes.
So that changes the equation.
Right.
Okay. The problem is that at the time, nobody knew that Paul Afoko was going to throw in a challenge.
His heart into the ring.
Nobody took Chairman Winchubi's bid seriously. And in fact, John Boydu's bid had not been stamped, as it were, and so on. So those equations were not available in terms of the analysis and so on.
That's fine.
Okay. Otherwise, Boakye Agyarko would have been an automatic choice of the party based on the grassroots sentiments and so on. But now, the equation has become a little more complicated than it was at that time. You understand? And in the party's own interest, the party also ought to choose a candidate for chairman who would jive with the presidential candidate.
Why is that important?
It's so important because they have to work together. If they disagree, if they fight, you understand, the campaign is going nowhere. So whoever the party chooses as national chairman ought to be somebody who is himself comfortable with the presidential candidate and who the presidential candidate will be comfortable with. That's an important part of the equation.
How then can the national chairman instill discipline in the party if he's so cool with the flag bearer? Because if he wants to take certain decisions,
who says that the national chairman and the presidential candidate have to be at odds before discipline is instilled?
Not necessarily.
They don't have to be at odds. You understand? They don't have to be at odds. You understand? But there has to be a certain chemistry between the two of them, a certain chemistry between the two of them. And I think it's very, very important, especially going up to the 2028 elections. The chemistry between presidential candidate and national chairman ought to be very good. One, because of the enhanced powers of the national chairman.
Yes.
And also because of the necessity to demonstrate party unity and so on is going to be extremely important. In all of this conversation, we haven't factored in the role of the General Secretary.
Yes.
And what kind of character, the General Secretary ought to have in the mix in order to make the party effective. But you see, in the final analysis, the party ought to demonstrate that it has a certain commitment to the pursuit of the national interest. A posturing which suggests that the party will do anything and everything to bring down the government simply because it wants power would be terrible for the New Patriotic Party. It has to sound reasonable. It has to adopt a posture which says that, look, anything in the national interest we will support. Everything against the national interest we will fight. So therefore, if government is doing something which is in the national interest, we would endorse. But if government dares to do anything which is against the national interest, there is war and so on. You see, that kind of posture helps a party which suffered such a humiliating defeat in the last elections. It must come back to the center as nationally focused, as a party whose eyes are not just on grabbing power for its own sake, but grabbing power in order to initiate transformative measures in all sectors of the national life.
So this is why you believe that the choice of the national chairman is so crucial, because of the posturing of the party. If he really wants the Ghanaians,
look.
To
if the NPP
he wants to win back the love of Ghanaians.
Master, if the NPP chooses the wrong national chairman, the party is in trouble. A lot of people think that, look, everything will be dependent on the choice of a presidential candidate, which they have made already. But the choice of a national chairman adds and subtracts, dependent on the calculations. If the right national chairman is chosen, it may add to the strength of the presidential candidate. If the wrong national chairman is chosen, it may also add to the weaknesses of the presidential candidate and so on. These are choices that the New Patriotic Party alone has to make. You understand?
Okay.
And Moro, all of us on this panel this morning know. I'll be surprised if any of us would deny that in national politics today, at least at the level of the National Democratic Congress and the New Patriotic Party, the influence of money is growing. And it's a danger, not just for the parties, but it's also a danger for Ghana. You understand? I mean, to the extent that empirical evidence appeared to suggest that for anybody to become president of Ghana, the person needs $100 million. That's far more than people need, even in some of the Western countries.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And for me, that's a huge problem.
It is.
What do they do with $100 million? Tell me, what do they do with $100 million? They use that to buy vehicles.
It's the reason why.
And make posters.
Yes.
And flags.
Yes.
Obviously not.
Yes, but it's also
this is money they put in people's pockets to buy them.
It's also the reason why everybody gets up and thinks they can be president for as long as they believe they have the war chest. Because for them, everything comes down to how much money I can spend. And you have been very critical and vocal about certain persons who have not looked themselves in the mirror and yet think that they can be president.
Well, I'm really worried about anybody who wakes up in the morning, stands in front of his own mirror, turns himself around, and convinces himself that he too can be president. I think it's an insult to the Ghanaian electorate.
Yeah, but I have cash. Uncle, let's take a break, please. I have cash. I can win. Just pay the delegates, give them all kinds of things. They'll vote for me. All these technicalities we're speaking, they don't believe it works. You're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Please stay with us.
every stage of life. Some things simply stay with us. The spirit of never giving up. A throwback to a bygone era when love was service. A silent statement of love. A thoughtful gesture that deepens bonds, balancing work and life. Every drop refreshes, every sip hydrates, just as it should. I am awake, one for life. Drink water, drink awake. Supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy. Specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2 and 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties.
Mommy, good morning.
Good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
Joe, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally? Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery. Laparoscopic colon surgery, which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, First Ghana Colorectal Center, aimed to serve a peculiar health need.
Today's class is going to be an exciting one. Now, who can share an unforgettable moment in their life? Okay, Asempa.
I'd like to talk about my first time. It was her natural look, complemented by her favorite green silky apparel that caught my attention. I have to say, she automatically possessed me with her smile, which exposed her beautiful white teeth. That's not all, her enduring signature perfume could be smelled from afar. Madam, why do you look so surprised? My first time with her was special and irresistible. I'm talking about Cindy Rice. Cindy Rice can be found in selected supermarkets nationwide.
Cindy Rice, sweet aroma, great taste.
This advert is FDA approved.
Looking for comfort, convenience, and class all in one place? Welcome to Stay Easy Apartments on Conference Center, where modern living meets exceptional service. Whether you're staying for business or leisure, Stay Easy offers you a home away from home. Spacious and well-furnished apartments, pool, gym, and everything you need to relax and feel at ease. Planning a meeting, workshop, or special event? Our event grounds and state-of-the-art conference center is designed to host your events and bring your vision to life. From corporate gatherings to private functions, we provide the perfect space, supported by modern equipment and a professional team ready to assist you. At Stay Easy, your comfort and success are our priority. Book your stay or reserve your space today. Call us at 020-739-1473 or 0244-226367. Stay Easy Apartments and Conference Center. Stay easy with us.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, some more.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Femi Kalika, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Femi once now. Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the action. Maybe this Sasso spray. Mr. Femi Sasso quell. Yeah, go to my Sasso.
Come tum preko.
This Easter, Estate Masters Limited is giving you more reasons to celebrate in our extended Easter promo. Secure your dreamland at Nest Cottage, Chopoli with a massive 15% discount. Or choose Palm Hills, Gomwa Pamfukurum, also at 15% discount. And for lovers of the coast, Coastal Park, Ningo Prampram awaits you at 10% discount. Plus, enjoy free site visits and free documentation because we make land ownership simple. This Easter, don't just celebrate, invest in your future. Estate Masters Limited, your most preferred estate partner.
Hi, my name is Ochame Kwame, the rap doctor, and all I'm saying is during this World Cup, make Metro TV, Original TV, and Original FM your official amazing production houses to watch all your tidbits, your behind the scenes, and get authentic news about the Black Stars and all the World Cup and enjoy. Tune in. Ochame Kwame, salute.
Catch every moment loud and live on Metro TV, Original TV, and Original 101.9 FM.
Right, you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My guests are still here. My name is Aldo Moore anyway. So Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr. is also here, former managing editor of the Insight newspaper, and also Andrew Mensah is also here with us. Mensah, actually. Yes, Mensah. Yes. Andre Japov Mensah is former MP for Second Year, and also a former deputy minister and a former minister as well. So, gentlemen, I want us to look at this other story. After many years, or after some years of legal pursuits, of course, across jurisdictions, and with us between Ghana and America, we've been able to bring the former SLOC chief executive officer down. She's been extradited, she's in town. But there are some issues that have arisen in terms of when she's going to start her custodial sentence. Is it from the day the judge said you're guilty, or it is from the day she actually really starts her custodial sentence? I've listened to some interesting legal banter, legal arguments being made in some media quarters. But I want us to look at how the
how is that even a debate?
Times. Sorry?
How is that even a question?
Well, some people think that she started already. She's done 2 years already.
How is that possible?
Yes. Anyway, so let me. I'll read some of those stories for you. So, but the Ghanaian Times this morning says that Malik Suleiman says former chief executive officer of the Microfinance and Small Loan Center, Maslock, Miss Sedina Christine Tamaklo Atienu, has been extradited from the United States of America to serve a 10-year prison sentence for stealing and causing financial loss to the state. Miss Atienu, who spent 5 months at the Nevada Detention Center in the United States, was convicted in absentia in April 2024 by Justice Hifiasewa Asare Botwe, a Court of Appeal judge, sitting with additional responsibility as a High Court judge. At the time of her conviction, she was living in the United States, where she had traveled in 2022 for medical treatment. Her co-accused, Mr. Daniel Axim, a former head of operations at Maslock, was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. The court also ordered the two convicts to refund monies found to have been unlawfully taken from the state. Ms. Ationu and Mr. Axim had been standing trial for about 5 years on charges including conspiracy to steal, stealing, causing financial loss to the state, causing loss to the public property, improper payment of public funds, money laundering, and breaches of the Public Procurement Act. Both pleaded not guilty to the charges. And in January 2023, the court ordered former National Petroleum Authority Chief Executive Officer Mr. Alex Mode and Miss Gavina Tamaklo, who stood as sureties for Ms. Atiunu's 5 million cedis bill bond, to pay the amount after failing to produce her before the court. The court further ruled that the state could attach or freeze the properties of the sureties should they fail to honor the bond. Mr. Atiunu was among persons charged in connection with the alleged misappropriation of funds at Maslock, and according to the prosecution, she embezzled 500,000 cedis repaid by a company that had benefited from Maslock's support in 2014. The prosecution also alleges that she misappropriated part of the 1.46 million cedis assistance package approved for victims of the 2013 Kintampo Market fire disaster. Now, there's an interesting angle which has been taken by today's Herald paper, and I'd want us to look at that before I bring the two of you in. Herald. Yes. So, Larry Douglas Herald says ex-Maslock boss lawyers reveal Godfred Dami and trial judge knew her serious illness. Medical reports were before court ahead of U.S. trip. You know, her matter is still before the appeals, or she's appealing against the sentence. I'm sure that this matter is going to come up quite strongly. Now, it says that concerns are mounting over the health of former Microfinance and Small Loan Center Maslock Chief Executive Officer Sedina Tamaklo Ationu, who was extradited from the United States of America to Ghana on Tuesday, June 9. The Herald has been informed that the once bubbly pharmacist appeared visibly stressed and frail upon her arrival. Family sources say she has been battling a serious illness for several years and has been undergoing continuous medical treatment and procedures. A source close to her legal team told the Herald that Mrs. Tamaklo Ationu's poor health was well documented with details of her medical condition presented to Justice Hifiasewa Asare Botwe. The Court of Appeal judge who presided over her trial granted her permission to travel to the United States for medical treatment. Now, the Herald understands that Justice Asare Botwe, after satisfying herself regarding the former slug boss's deteriorating health, directed Mrs. Tamaklo Ationu to collect her passport from the court's registry. The passport was released to enable her to travel to the United States for treatment. Before leaving Ghana, however, Mrs. Tamaklo Ationu was required to renew her United States visa at the U.S. Embassy in Accra before she could travel. Her legal team insists she did not abscond, describing claims that she fled justice as politically motivated and misleading. According to the source, the circumstances surrounding her departure were fully known to the court, Justice Asare Botwe, and the prosecution team led by the then Attorney General Minister for Justice Godfred Yeboah-Adame. The source maintained that these facts could easily be verified from court records. Now, those who claim she had run away, the source argued, were either ill-informed or engaged in political mischief. The people who conducted the trial saw the medical reports, yet they proceeded with the trial in absentia despite knowing she was undergoing medical treatment. Sedi wasn't well. She left this country. All the misinformation and nonsense people are talking about are simply untrue. She did not just get up and leave. The court saw the medical report, considered the request, and allowed her to travel. And let me end with this last paragraph. Please bear with me before you come in. It's actually on page 13. Okay, I think good. Now, we're told that she arrived in Ghana in a wheelchair and with visibly swollen limbs, raising further concerns about her health condition. Family sources confirmed that she had been unwell prior to her transfer to Ghana, arriving visibly ill with swollen limbs after being extradited from the United States of America, where she had been receiving medical treatment. A family member who spoke on condition of anonymity confirmed her condition to the Daily Graphic upon her arrival on Tuesday. So she arrived at the Accra International Airport on Tuesday aboard United Airlines flight UA 996, which landed at approximately 9 a.m. After departing from Washington, Dallas International Airport at 11:45. She was immediately taken into custody. Meanwhile, former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, who is also in the United States, continues to challenge efforts to secure his return to Ghana to face criminal proceedings of allegations that he caused financial losses exceeding 1.4 billion cedis in relation to the Strategic Mobilization Limited. Okay. So, okay, good. Now here's the thing. So her lawyers, led by Enoch Degbe of Freshfields Law Consult, filed a notice of appeal on 9th May 2024, raising 9 grounds of appeal. In a written submission filed under a court order dated 10th February 2026, the defense set out a detailed legal case for her acquittal. Central to the appeal is the argument that a charge sheet used to prosecute her is incurably defective and violates Article 19(2)d of the 1992 Constitution, which guarantees every accused person the right to be informed in detail of the nature of the offense charged. Now, the defense argues that the particulars of the offense in most counts merely repeats the statutory definition of the offense without specifying the actual facts or omissions allegedly committed by the appellant. The submission cites a line of Ghanaian Supreme Court and Court of Appeal decisions, including Ernest Thompson and 5 others, Criminal Appeal number J305-2020, and Osei v. the Republic of It goes on and on and on, which establish that defective particulars of offense are fatal to a conviction and cannot be cured by evidence. On the substantive charges of stealing, the defense argues that the prosecution called only 7 witnesses, none of whom were beneficiaries of the sensitization programs allegedly not carried out, nor regional officers of Maslow from the affected area. So this matter, it looks like we have a long way to go. Let me start with you, Andy. What do you make of this development? She's back home.
You've read a lot of things.
Yes. I wanted to give you some more filler before you come in.
I haven't read the story.
Okay.
So I'm a little constrained in, making comments on the appeal and all that. But I would wish to find out whether post the filing of the notice of appeal, whether any steps have been taken to actually prosecute the appeal.
It's a legitimate question. Because
otherwise, read what he is seeking to say. Because everybody, has a right of appeal. It's a constitutional right that cannot be denied any person. And so it will be useful to know whether upon the filing of the notice of appeal, they actually proceeded to prosecute the appeal, which they could do in her absence, right? Just as she was convicted in her absence, they could prosecute the appeal on her behalf while she was away.
It's an important piece of information we need to find out, whether the appeal was being heard in court while she was away or it stopped.
Does it really matter?
No, it does, because we don't want a situation where it looks like all of a sudden an appeal has been filed because she's in town. And that appeal, the appeal is being heard.
If the law allows it, what is wrong with that?
No, we want to know what has been happening to the appeal while she was away.
There are time frames within which these processes ought to be filed.
Okay.
Of course, you can always go for leave for extension of time to file an appeal. And so to that extent, but of course it has to be reasonable, right? I'm not so sure whether filing a notice of appeal in May 2024 and going to sleep until 2026 June to file an application for extension of time to file your appeal processes would constitute reasonableness under the circumstances. But I suppose that it's developing. We'll get to know the details as we go along. Extradition, you know, certain portions also that you read was that she did not abscond.
Yes, the lawyers are saying she did not abscond, and that her medical reports are with Asari Botri, the High Court judge. That indeed,
I don't know how material that is to the conviction.
Okay.
Because I'm not so sure whether when she sought permission from the court, which was granted, for her to go and seek medical care out of the jurisdiction, that permission was perpetual. And what documents did she submit during the course of the trial to establish that indeed and in fact she still needed to stay out and that the court should stay the proceedings until her return? I'm sure the lawyers participated in the process all the way up to the point where the bond was extracted on the two sureties, okay, who obviously stood surety for her to the effect that anytime that the court needed her, they were going to produce her. And that if they were unable to do so, then they would make do by meeting the bail bond conditions, which at some point during the trial, the court insisted that they pay the sum of money that they are stood surety for. So I don't know whether she having absconded or having been permitted by the court is material. The point is this, that she was not available at some point during her trial when the court needed her. And so the court proceeded to continue the trial.
Let me ask you this. I mean, you're a lawyer. Let me ask you this. If a defendant in a case makes a case for why they cannot be present, and in this case, it borders on ill health and the person travels, is it normal, and I'm asking this out of ignorance, is it normal for the court to proceed to make a pronouncement or to pronounce judgment on the person whilst the person is away? Or what normally should happen is you wait, the person recovers, comes back to town, and then the trial continues?
So we need to find out the terms under which the court granted her permission to travel.
Okay.
Whether she was permitted to go out of the jurisdiction for, say, 1 month, right? Or that she was permitted to go for 6 months or 1 year or perpetually.
Right, because the story just says,
I'm not
the judge
so sure.
says you can go, you know, for treatment abroad, but we don't know.
Yes, we need to find out whether there was, because otherwise, if she's permitted to go until she recovers and comes back, then it will be unreasonable if the trial proceeded post that in her absence.
Right.
So to the extent that the trial proceeded in her absence, I'm not so sure whether the condition for her, the permission that the court gave her, was open-ended.
Right.
Okay, because otherwise, why would the court permit her to go, release her passport to her, go for her to go for a visa or renew her visa, travel out, and just when she went, the trial proceeded? It would be extremely unreasonable. And to even proceed to request Alex Mould and the other surety to meet the bail conditions. Right. I fail to see how that would be possible under a system which is largely fair. Okay, and so we need to interrogate that as well and see. Okay, but she was convicted, and state then proceeded to file an extradition process, which the U.S. have, following the determination of her case, deemed it appropriate for her to be returned to Ghana, and so she's been brought back home.
When does she start serving?
If the detention was pursuant to the extradition proceedings, then I would imagine that the sentence would have commenced when she was detained in the U.S.
Really?
Because even if you are remanded in the course of trial and conviction is subsequently issued, the sentence will take account of the period that you've been in custody for the remand period. Okay, so to that extent, I would assume.
Because
safely that, but it cannot be that the sentence would have started the very day that she was convicted, when clearly she wasn't in the jurisdiction to begin the sentence that had been handed down to her by the court. I mean, she wasn't convicted to stay or serve her sentence in her home in America where she was living.
Right.
I don't know how anybody would even.
But the remand period would definitely be taken into account.
Yes. Typically, the remand period would be taken into account. And so, if the detention was furtherance of the extradition, that should go towards the time that she spends, in prison. And we are told that she was in detention for 5 months.
Yes, for 5 months. Yes.
So, I would surmise that she's only served five months of the 10-year sentence.
But the jurisdictional argument doesn't hold here. It doesn't matter where she serves the 5 months, whether in Ghana or outside Ghana.
Because of the extradition process.
Service.
Because of the extradition process, right? If she was arrested in furtherance of the extradition request,
right,
then it will be deemed to be part of the sentencing period. I would think that would be the position, but of course, these are matters that we can go into. The concerns that people are raising, I hope, and this morning I granted an interview on one of the Takrady radio stations.
Okay.
I said that, look, we can't speculate really what the Attorney General and the government are going to do.
Right.
I've seen comments on social media. Franklin Kujo of Imani has said, we don't want to see any shenanigans playing out, where the script would be that, and we're being told that she's unwell. And so naturally, we may potentially hear that she's been admitted at the hospital. And subsequent events.
Why not? If she's ill, why should she be denied the right to
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, that those matters or concerns that people are raising, I really don't want to participate in that.
She has a right to medical attention.
Oh yes, of course. She has a right to medical attention, but some suspicion or some speculation that is being put out there is that the script is known. Okay, next we hear she's in the hospital. Next we hear she's either been pardoned or that her appeal, some leave has been granted for her to pursue her appeal and subsequently discharged, acquitted and discharged. I don't know. But let's see how it plays out in the public.
Or the president granting amnesty
has a right
on
to grant.
Grounds.
Yeah, he can. Okay, but question is, would the track record that the NDC has shown in entering nolle prosequi for all their party people who were standing trial when they came into office, going to play out in this case as well, are the questions that people are asking. But like I said, I really don't wish to speculate. Let us all see how things will play out and how the government would respond, because it cannot be that the administration of justice should be reserved for political opponents only. And that only MPP people must face the full rigors of the law, and NDC people should not.
Okay.
And if that's how the government plays it out, then the good people of Ghana would see through it and, raise the relevant questions when they arise. But let's see how it plays out.
Okay.
Really. But of course, if she's unwell, nobody can say that she should not be granted the right to medical care.
Right. Okay, see, Elvis Darko says that Ayine is going to Washington, D.C. to meet the authorities there following the successful extradition of former Maslok Chief Executive Sedna Tamaklo the discussions we're told is expected to take place in the coming days and is likely to focus heavily on Ghana's efforts to secure the return of former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta.
I don't think we should couple the two. We haven't coupled the two from the beginning.
Okay.
So let's deal with this one.
Matter, okay. Right.
Because then creates problems.
Okay.
You see, no matter what we say, the law is in motion. And all of us are learning a lot.
Right.
Even including practitioners like my brother in the studio. All of us will become richer, as the case rolls on. What are the facts? Fact is that she has been brought here based on an extradition request by the prosecutors in Ghana. She's been brought here. That's a fact. She's here. Okay? Like all citizens, she has legal rights, she has entitlement and so on, which includes the right to appeal the conviction. And it doesn't matter whether she's NDC or NPP, whoever is convicted has a right of appeal. You can't deny that. Like all citizens, NPP, CPP, whatever, she has a right to medical care, even after conviction. So if it's established that her health is failing and so on, she has a right to see a medical doctor, she has a right to be admitted to a medical facility and so on. And don't forget that only a couple of weeks ago, some major players in the opposition were insisting on Abronye's right to medical care.
True.
You understand? They could not be insisting on Abronye's right to medical care and denying others their right to medical care simply because they are NDC. The most important thing is whether or not she's truly sick. And that we can check. It can be verified and so on. So she's entitled to that. Now, even if the appeal court should uphold her conviction, as a citizen of Ghana who lives under the 1992 Constitution, she can go to the Supreme Court. And even after a Supreme Court verdict, she can go for review. She's a citizen of Ghana. She's entitled to all of these, processes and so on.
Right.
Now, there are important questions which needs to be answered. And these important questions will be answered not because she's a member of the NDC or she's a member of the NPP. These are important legal questions to be answered. And we've raised some of those questions. One, if a court, in its own wisdom, is satisfied that an accused person is sick and grants the appeal person permission to go and seek medical attention, can't the court proceed to the point of conviction when the person is still under medical care? This is a question which has to be answered. If the answer is that the court can proceed and convict and so on, her conviction can be upheld. If the answer is that the court erred in granting her permission to go and seek medical attention and went ahead and convicted her, that the result would also be clear. You understand? So this is a question that needs to be answered. And I'm not the person to answer that. That would be a question which the Court of Appeal would have to answer. And so, then there have been questions about when really does the sentence take effect. Even my brother, who is a very distinguished lawyer, had so many caveats when he discussed it. So this is a matter which would also be discussed. And so, I don't want us to get into a situation where there's a case, and a criminal case, and we are looking at whether or not the person is NPP or NDC and so on. It's so unfair to the persons who have been caught by the law. You understand? So unfair. I think their political coloring, whoever, Abronye, this former Maslock lady, Sedinam, former finance minister and so on, their political coloring should not matter.
Yeah.
If it shouldn't matter for Ofori-Atta, why should it matter for Sedinam?
Right.
And if it should matter for Sedinam, why shouldn't it matter for Ofori-Atta or any of the people before trial? So I want a situation in which the political coloring is taken out of these cases and they are dealt with to the extent possible as technical criminal prosecutions. You understand? And that's the only way in which we can be fair to the accused persons and also ensure that the state itself is pursuing justice. That's all.
Uncle, should we have been given the opportunity to watch the proceedings, her arrival, sit in the wheelchair,
what does that do?
Those things? Should we have made to see all of that?
What does that do? For me, whether we saw it or we didn't see it is not an issue.
It's immaterial.
It's completely immaterial. So if you saw her in a wheelchair, would that confirm that she's sick? It certainly would not confirm that she's sick. You know, if you saw her bouncing around, would that confirm that she's sick or not sick? That's a decision that medical practitioners, competent medical practitioners will make. It's not for those of us sitting on this beautiful decks, you know, to decide whether she's sick or not sick.
Andy, would you have loved to see her? Her arrival?
For me, it's neither here nor there.
Prisons, officers taking her to custody, etc.
I don't think that
necessary.
was necessary.
Okay. All right. So the second leg of this is that Attorney General Ayine has just left the shores of Ghana. He's in Washington, D.C. He's going to hold high-level talks with the state officials there, and is in connection with Ken Ofori-Atta, because now that Sedinam is here, help us bring Ken Ofori-Atta to Ghana as well. Or the Ken matter is different, basically. So the fact that Sedinam is here doesn't mean automatically we'll get Ken Ofori-Atta to come to Ghana.
Is it
Yes.
Well, I really don't. Well, the statement that I read from Felix's post didn't say that it was because of Ken Ofori-Atta that
Ayine isn't going to Washington.
Is going to Washington, D.C.
That's what the news center says, Elvis Darko.
But if that's why he's going, I wish him luck.
Okay.
Right. What else do you want me to say?
I think there's nothing more to say.
We'll see how it goes. The Attorney General, as Attorney General, part of his responsibility is to pursue this extradition request to the United States of America. There's nothing wrong with
There's nothing wrong with that. He's just doing his job.
Whether or not the request will be granted will be based on the interpretation of United States law by the courts in the United States.
Right.
Even if the request to bring Ken Ofori-Atta back is granted, it doesn't mean that he's a thief. It doesn't mean that he's a convict.
That's true.
He has to go through a trial process. The courts have to decide on his guilt or innocence.
Yeah.
Even after that, he's still entitled to appeal. He should be treated as a citizen of Ghana under the Constitution. Finish.
Okay.
Why do we want to politicize everything?
I agree with you 100%. Same way everybody has a right against self-incrimination.
Oh, sure.
So, indeed and in fact, Ken Ofori-Atta's presence in Ghana does nothing for the prosecution's case. Absolutely nothing.
Is it? I've been wondering.
Hold on. Yeah. I agree with you with all the points that you made.
Okay.
So, question is, and I agree that we shouldn't politicize it. So, question is, if the Attorney General has his facts and evidence about the offenses that they accuse Ken Ofori-Atta to have committed, does he need Ken Ofori-Atta in Accra to pursue that case?
They insist they do.
How? Because the fact of the matter is that Ken Ofori-Atta can come to Accra today and refuse to speak. Nobody can do anything to him.
But they're saying that at least it would be on record.
I'm saying that he can elect not to open his mouth. You can't do zilch to him.
He's allowed.
He's allowed under the law to remain silent, because when you're arrested, your Miranda rights that I read to you is that whatever you say can be used against you. You have a right to remain silent. Whatever you say may be used against you in the court of law. So, question is, why is the Attorney General, knowing this, hell-bent on pursuing Ken Ofori-Atta to come to Ghana by all means?
Is the OSC, you mean?
Whatever. It's the Attorney General that is pursuing the extradition request. Because it's only the Attorney General that can do it.
Yeah.
Why?
But the OSP says he wants to arrest Kent first.
For what?
Get him to write his statement.
But you don't. You're not mandated to write any statement.
He insists that he needs that.
Insists that what? That you breach the law.
He thinks
that OSP is insisting that he will compel Kenoforiata to write a statement.
Even if he doesn't write, he goes on record before he goes.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Moro.
So you see,
the smartest come up and they keep insisting that they need him.
Insist on needing what?
There are so many things that are baffling.
Anyway,
one, under the laws of Ghana, no accused person is compelled to make self-incriminating statements.
Fact.
Indeed, when you're arrested and you go to a police station, you are cautioned that you have the right to stay silent. And that's for every and any accused person, whether they be ministers before or they are unemployed persons.
Sure.
Okay. Trials in absentia are lawful. So what is all this thing about Kenoforiata? I don't understand. Because it's the politics. Can I finish? Because he's right. You can bring Kenoforiata to Accra today. On arrival in Accra, he says, I'm not talking. I'm not writing any statement. Go ahead and do what you want to do. If the OSP decides to prosecute, it will be without the cooperation of Kenoforiata. And Kenoforiata, under the law, is not bound to cooperate with the OSP. So what is all this rigmarole? What is all this drama? I don't understand the drama. What is happening actually is just theater. Pure, complete theater.
So go ahead and prosecute in absentia.
Nothing stops the OSP from prosecuting Kenoforiata tomorrow morning. You understand? Just like this lady was prosecuted in absentia, Kenoforiata can be prosecuted in absentia. So why? I think, and I've said it on many occasions, that I don't understand why Kenoforiata is staying out of the jurisdiction, even though that's his decision. If I were him, I'll come back to the jurisdiction and fight my case. But he's not me, and I'm not him. He can make his own decisions as well. So this theater, what is this theater supposed to serve? That is happening, it's just pure theater, just theater. What is it supposed to serve?
Anyway.
But that's why we are being told that you know the reason it is supposed to serve.
Yeah?
It's supposed to serve a certain political interest.
What political interest?
Ask. So why are we being told that the Attorney General has left the shores of Ghana to go to the United States to go and engage the Justice Department on Kenoforiata? That's what you said.
Yes.
Why?
But you have said that you read the statement
on Felix. But I agree
so
that Felix.
Why are you coming to a statement that you
I'm coming.
We don't have any reason to doubt what Elvis Zaku is saying. That his information is that he's in Washington.
I'm saying that my brother here in Japan
stated Felix's statement.
Said that he's read Felix's statement, and Felix's statement does not say what is published,
which is true. But it
so
says
why is he going to?
Yeah, but he's also saying that if what Elvis is reporting is anything to go by, then he proceeds to make the argument he made.
After reading the statement,
yes,
and convincing himself that the statement does not say what is reported,
yes, but he's commenting on the story I read in the news center, Elvis Dakos' news center.
Look, there's too much theater around us. Too much theater around us.
Okay. Robert Coleman says you're opening your eyes too widely and you're frightening him. So he begs you, said Robert Coleman.
Robert Coleman is frightened by watching the screen.
So this is the Felix's statement. It says, anyway, Robert Coleman, good morning. It's good to know that you're tuned in.
I haven't seen Robert for a long time.
Oh, Robert, you have to go and play
for a very, very, very long time.
Yes.
And at least the Kutubabi solidarity ought to be alive.
Robert, you heard it all. I have nothing useful to add. But let me read Felix's statement. In April 2024, the High Court convicted and sentenced Sedenata Makulati in absentia. In July 2024, the government of Ghana submitted an extradition request to the United States for her surrender to Ghana to serve her sentence. After over 2 years of court proceedings, the United States authorities notified the government of her surrender in January this year. She arrived in Accra on Tuesday, June 9, 2026. Officials of the Ghana Police Service and the Ghana Prison Service have taken her into custody and are making the necessary preparations for her to begin her sentence. Meanwhile, the Attorney General is scheduled to meet his counterparts at the United States Department United Department of Justice for a bilateral discussion on all pending extradition requests between the two countries. All right, so that's from Robert Coleman. Now, Kofi Kapito says that, good morning, Moro, please. Oh, Kofi, you don't want us to talk about the Ken issue. I have heard you.
What does he say?
It says the Ken issue. It says I'm not looking good at all on this Ken issue. But I'm not the one talking about it. It's in the paper. So I just brought it up for my guests to pass a comment on it. So maybe if you can throw some more light on what you mean by I'm not looking good on the Ken matter. Anyway, so obviously, I guess we should move on.
Well,
His Excellency the President.
You are the guy in charge.
Yes,
you
sir.
decide what we should discuss and how we move on. Why are you asking me?
His Excellency, the President, has noted with concern the increasing trend of ministers of state, chief executive officers of state institutions, and other public officials participating in and accepting awards from various private organizations purporting to recognize them as the best performing, most outstanding, or most influential public office holders. In many instances, the organizations conferring such awards are largely unknown to the public. Their credentials are unclear, and no transparent, objective, or verifiable criteria exists for assessing the performance of public officials. Consequently, the proliferation of such awards has the potential to undermine the integrity of public office, public service, create misconceptions regarding government performance assessment, and expose the government to unnecessary public criticisms and embarrassment. Number 3, public office is a solemn responsibility entrusted to officials by the people of Ghana. Performance in the office cannot be measured by privately organized ceremonies, self-appointed rating bodies, or commercial award schemes whose methodologies and standards are neither established nor subject to public scrutiny. Number 4, His Excellency therefore directs that all ministers of state, chief executive officers of state institutions, and other political appointees refrain from participating in sponsoring, endorsing, attending, or accepting awards from such organizations unless expressly authorized by the office of the President. Government remains focused on delivering on its commitment to the people of Ghana. The true treasure of the performance of ministers and chief executive officers is the extent to which they fulfill the policy objectives, programs, and sector-specific targets outlined in the 2024 National Democratic Congress Manifesto, the Government Development Agenda, and the performance indicators agreed upon with their respective supervising authorities. Accordingly, ministers and chief executive officers are reminded that the performance will be assessed based on tangible outcomes, measurable impact, effective service delivery, prudent management of public resources, and the successful implementation of government policies and programs. And it ends by saying that His Excellency the President wishes to emphasize that in due course, the Presidency will undertake a comprehensive review of the performance of ministers and chief executive officers. The findings of this review shall constitute a key basis for decisions relating to retention in office, reassignment of responsibilities, and any future cabinet or executive restructuring. Public officials are therefore encouraged to devote their full attention to the execution of their mandate and the delivery of results for the people of Ghana, rather than seeking or participating in external recognition schemes of questionable credibility. Your cooperation in this matter is highly appreciated. Please accept the assurances of the highest consideration of His Excellency the President of the Republic, Callistus Mahama, PhD, Secretary to the President, signed by him. And the title of this is Participation in Private Award Schemes and Related Events. 8th June 2026. We'll take a short break. Stay with us.
Through every stage of life, some things simply stay with us. The spirit of never giving up. A throwback to a bygone era when love was service. A silent statement of love. A thoughtful gesture that deepens bonds, balancing work and life. Every drop refreshes, every sip hydrates, just as it should. I am awake, one for life. Drink water, drink awake. Supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
Repacho Bantama.
Matasi.
It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me, Jidi said we use Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind. Cal 360 toothpaste.
Gaskia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector. Onim jom kasan.
Kile Hossein. Cal 360 did the work. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
Hey, you will see so feeling when you know Cal 360 toothpaste. Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
As the days come and go, there's always shit. Let colleagues explore all the planetary bodies. Our mission is in Uranus to treat hemorrhoids, anal fistula, anal fissure, anal incontinence, hidradenitis suppurativa, using laser Legasure for pain-free and speedy recovery. On Uranus Street, Accra, is Main Tuber Hospital and Coloproctology Center. Trust Uranus with us and we will delight you. Visit Main Tuber Hospital today or call us on 0244 581 541.
Looking for the ultimate oil city getaway? Welcome to the Groove Etipon Beach Resort, where luxury meets adventure. Host your meetings and events in our fully equipped conference facility. Relax our sparkling pool, unwind in cozy rooms, satisfy your cravings at our scenic restaurant, and enjoy fun-packed recreational activities and a walk through our charming menus. Whether it's business, pleasure, or pure escape, the Groove is your perfect destination.
Attention all farmers, horticulturists and landscapers. Are you ready to take your crop production to the next level? Introducing the ACAP Grade A and Compost Plus for nursing your seeds. K-Cap Equiafuajenkwa for the growth and maturity stage of your crops, while the Arecop Compost Premium takes care of your cash crops. Available at all agri distribution centers across the country. For your purchase and more information, call the following numbers: 054 400 4486 or 020 955 5497. Our products are certified by Cocoa Board and the Ministry of Food and Agriculture.
Since inception in 2012, Rehoboth has played an active role in addressing Ghana's housing deficit, having developed over 2,000 housing units. Over the last 6 years, we have grown into one of Ghana's leading providers of social and affordable housing, with strong focus on creating quality homes that remain affordable to families at home in Ghana and in the diaspora. Today, we stand proud as Ghana's largest private affordable and social housing provider, directly resolving the deep-seated anxieties of the Ghanaian diaspora buying properties back home. We have completely eliminated the systemic worries of housing. With Rehoboth, there is no land litigation, no court injunctions, and no land guards. Every single development is fully secured with proper, flawless documentation, providing our homeowners with absolute peace of mind. This revolutionary journey of affordable housing began at Rehoboth Knightsbridge in Kwabena. Developed as Africa's premier age-certified green community, Knightsbridge shattered the status quo, proving that sustainable, world-class urban living with elite amenities could be made accessible to our people. Building on that national triumph,
we scaled our vision with Rehoboth Palm, which also proudly holds prestigious EDGE certification. This massive master planned development seemingly blends active community lifestyles with rock-solid investment value, locking in generational wealth for Ghanaian families. Now we introduce our most ambitious milestone yet, Rehoboth Havens, commandingly positioned in the serene hills of Ayi-Mensah Danfa with breathtaking views of the Pediase Ebri Mountains. This secure gated community redefines modern living. And we have completely rewritten the rules of acquisition. No banks, no transaction cost, no complex, exhausting bureaucratic processes. With just a 20% deposit, you take immediate possession of your home, spreading the remaining balance over 10 years directly with us. With prices for our 2, 3 and 4 bedroom all-en-suite homes starting from just $55,000, your dream of home ownership is finally within reach. Don't wait any longer. Your keys are ready. Just move in. Call us today on +44 203 154 8400 or +44 791 737 6631 or +233 25 662 3346. Rehoboth Social Housing. Your housing dream becomes a reality.
Good morning, Ghana on Metro Television. Remember that at the end of the show, towards the end of the show, we'll bring you World Cup updates. Michael Kofi will be joining us to tell us the latest on what's happening there with the upcoming World Cup. It starts actually tomorrow, and I'm told South Africa plays Mexico, and the whole of Africa appears to be supporting Mexico, with the exception of South Africa, understandably so because of the xenophobia that's happening in that part of town. So it's going to be very interesting how it pans out tomorrow. Mexico, South Africa, whoa. Anyway, right, so, how is he?
Yes, sir.
President is not happy, legitimately so.
Look, Massa, both of you will recall something that happened. A gentleman who came to earn the nickname Dr. UN.
Yes.
Operated in this country.
Yes.
And he bought ordinary flax, this flax. You can buy it in the market for less than 100 cedis and so on.
And charger, plate.
Yes, yes. Ordinary flax. And convinced very, very important personalities in Ghana that he was honoring them on behalf of the UN. And these serious academics, businessmen and so on, bought into this award scheme. You remember Dr. UN?
Yes, I do.
At the end, it became a scandal.
Yeah.
You know, the list of prominent Ghanaians who were receiving flax from Dr. UN as awards from the UN. So you sat back and you were wondering, these are our leaders in academia, in business, in politics and so on. And they're so hungry for validation. It's a flax which gives them validation. So you're sitting back and you're just wondering, what kind of leaders do we have? And they don't cry. I haven't said anything which you make you cry. You're crying. Why? Moro is crying. No, but have I said anything?
Because I'm not sure he expected you to pick it from this angle.
Is the angle wrong? Is the angle wrong?
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny the angle you picked it from.
Yeah, but it's an important angle.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Why is the flax presented to them? You know, so this is just this.
I didn't know Captain Smart was a victim.
He collected it happily.
but this is the indication that our prominent citizens actually hunger. They hunger for validation. And they will take validation from anywhere and everywhere. That's a problem. Now, yesterday morning, something else happened.
University of Ghana Chancellor.
Oh my God.
You do went to collect some. Oh God. Yes.
But you see, yesterday morning, something very interesting happened. And for me, it was so very interesting. You know my friend Chum Boafo, who...
Look at Loco Boy.
Dr. Okoboy too. Are you sure?
You're ready, sir. He's collecting his award. I'm sure this guy shows again when you see. Look at him.
Speak out.
But why are you laughing so wildly?
You're very good friends, you can also a victim.
Right Honorable S.K. Baggins, Speaker of Parliament. Anyway, can I make my point?
Please do.
Yes. But you see, this is an indication of the extent to which the so-called pillars of our society are in need of validation. That's the problem. They're in need of validation. But I'm saying that yesterday morning something happened which was also extraordinary. Our own good friend, Chum Boafo, who is head of the Financial Intelligence Center, granted a radio interview yesterday morning. And he said that he was offered an award, or his organization was offered an award by an institution from the United Kingdom. So they were considering the award, and the request was that they should pay £30,000 to receive the award. They had to pay £30,000 to the organizers. That does not include the airfare of the recipient and his entourage. It does not include the cost of accommodation in the UK and so on. £30,000. I mean, if this is not crazy, what is? And to think that if he was not a sensible CEO, he could actually have expended state resources on getting a piece of paper and maybe some zinc plaque, if he was lucky, you understand, for £30,000. Now, just imagine what £30,000 can do in Ghana. Schools under trees, lack of access to hospitals, and so on, malnutrition in certain parts of our country and so on. If any CEO actually takes £30,000 to pay for an award, that CEO is a criminal. Complete criminal. You understand? But that is not all. There was another revelation in the course of the week. Dr. Kwesa White also claims that they asked him to pay 50,000 Ghana cedis
for sponsorship.
Yeah, so that he could qualify to be awarded and so on. I am scandalized, completely scandalized. What is it in the people we appoint, in the people who give high office, in the people we venerate? What is it that makes them crave for validation? And validation not even from credible institutions. Validation most of the time from charlatanic institutions. And they're ready to pay 50,000 to get a piece of paper with some writing on it and some zinc. Oh my God. You know, for President Mahama, I can understand him. You know, one of the problems that he's confronting, because of this craving for validation, there will be unnecessary competition in the center of his government.
True.
So governmental cohesion then becomes impossible. And when governmental cohesion becomes impossible, what results is total confusion and a lack of focus on the central objective of delivering on the agenda that they presented. That should be the problem of the presidency.
Yeah.
That should be the problem of the presidency. Look, something happened last week, and I'm sure Japan noticed it, which I thought was very significant. Ministry of Finance actually makes a statement that so much has been released to the agric sector of the national economy. The agric ministry issues a statement and says the Ministry of Finance is a liar. Nothing has been released. Why do you think this is happening? This is happening because of unnecessary competition. This is happening because people are in the quest for validation. This is happening because there's unhealthy rivalry in the center of government. This is happening because some people in government have taken their eyes off the ball. This is happening because there's a crazy contest, absolutely crazy contest for, is it leadership? I'm not sure. That's what is happening. So, I mean, the other time I said that, look, I pitied President John Dramani Mahama. I said so. That, look, he finds himself in this situation and it's sad and so on. Of course, when I left the set and I went to my office, a friend of mine came all the way to the office.
Okay.
And said, you are wasting your pity. He was very angry with me. Why should I say that I pitied President John Mahama? And that he is sitting in the place where he can stop this one time. And that if he's not stopping it, why pity him? There is nobody in this government that he cannot sack tomorrow morning.
There's an impending reshuffle, Kwesi.
But does it even have to take? Does it even have to take necessarily sacking people?
Can we just rein them in?
Absolutely.
Admonition.
And
so on.
Yeah. Sacking maybe an option. That's extreme.
No, but when it gets to the extent, that it has gotten, I think sacking becomes imperative. Imagine, Moro, listen. All the ministers, every Thursday, they meet in the Jubilee House in cabinet.
Yes.
What is the cabinet meeting supposed to do? To iron out these differences, to make sure that government is operating from a central point of cohesion.
Right.
That's why cabinet meetings are held. Otherwise, it's a coordinating meeting. And it is based on the assumption that every minister is acting on behalf of the president. So on Thursdays, they go to meet the person on whose behalf they are acting in order to synchronize their work and so on. So if Ministry of Finance said they've issued money to Agric Ministry and the money hasn't arrived, and so on, where is this matter resolved? Press statement or cabinet meeting? Why do you have a chief of staff? The chief of staff is supposed to be the boss of all the appointees of the president. He's supposed to coordinate action to ensure that there's some seamless, there's some cohesion in the center of government. So when you have a situation where Minister of Agric is attacking Minister of Finance, Minister of Finance is attacking Ministry of Agric, it's an indication of governmental collapse. And this one, what do you do? What are you waiting for to sack? My brother, if you were president, what would you be waiting for to crack the whip? So it's getting out of hand. It's becoming nauseating. It's beginning to send wrong signals and so on. You cannot have a situation where in the center of your government,
Tell me, I joined the group of lamentators.
I'm analyzing.
You've joined the executive secretary, the president.
He is executive secretary.
Issuing lamentations rather than acting.
No. Me, I don't have power to act. Master, I don't have power to act. I don't have the powers that Dr. Kalisus Mahama has. You understand?
Right.
I'm an analyst. I'm a commentator. Maybe I am giving too much to myself. You know.
No, you are.
But listen, that's what I am.
Right.
You understand? So I'm beginning to see cracks. These are indications of cracks. You cannot have a situation in which your ministers, your chief of staff and so on, are all aspiring to be president without creating centers of rivalry. It's automatic. When that happens, automatically you get centers of rivalry. When you have centers of rivalry in government machinery does not work.
Look, we see at this juncture, it's all speculative. None of those people have told anybody they want to succeed anybody.
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
But it's
don't do that to our viewers.
But none of the people.
Moro, I beg you. You are better informed than what you are portraying.
No, I'm just saying that, okay.
Moro,
none of those people have told any of us.
Please, Moro.
Okay.
You are better informed than what you're trying to do.
Okay.
One, some of them have made statements. If you speak to the media and you say, oh, as for me, I'm ready to be president if the party elects me, are you not campaigning? Can you deny that? Do you believe that all the things that are happening on the ground are happening by themselves or by some magic? Don't you know they are sponsored? Don't you know that there's deliberate efforts in building those structures?
It's media agenda.
The media is setting up keep fit clubs. What are you talking about?
Wait, let me read this.
The media is setting an agenda.
From the Registry of Companies.
Musa Dankwa is set an agenda by projecting a certain pool that does not reflect the realities of
and I've heard from Musa Dankwa, two statements that have been attributed to Musa Dankwa.
Okay.
One, that none of the people he has listed as being interested in becoming whatever
has not dismissed it.
Has denied it.
Yes.
That two, some have even asked him to add their names to the list.
and a few have told him to take their names out.
Nobody has.
No, he said one person has called him.
So one person.
He said so on. I was only being.
I know who the person is.
That he should take his name out, right?
Yes.
Huh?
I know who the person.
Who is that person? But if you know your viewers
I was asking you earlier to name somebody, and you said no matter what I say, you won't name the person. So you believe in this principle of hiding some information if you don't think it's necessary.
You are hosting the program. You are different from. I'm not sitting here as a host.
The Office of the Registrar of Companies wishes to inform all companies, business owners, and the general public that the deadline for filing annual returns and renewing business names has been extended from 30th April 2026. to 30th June 2026. This extension gives business additional time to regularize their status and avoid penalties. Now, failure to comply by the new deadline may attract sanctions, including additional fees and possible removal from the company's register. Additionally, the ORC has announced that 318 companies have been earmarked to be struck off the register in accordance with the Companies Act 2019. So affected companies have 3 months from the publication date to take action or make representations. If you have any further inquiries to make, please call the number 0308 249 841, 0308 249 841, or you can just simply send a WhatsApp or Telegram to 05952 5774, or connect with us on social media at ORC Ghana. ORC, a trusted partner for business. And also, please discover MNC Group Global. They are a #1 partner in minerals and food commodity trading, real estate development, general logistics, procurement, management consultancy, investment advisory, and import and export, with headquarters in East Legon, Accra, Ghana. MNC Group, they have offices in Dubai, one in Hong Kong, Guangzhou in China, Johannesburg in South Africa, Virginia, USA, Arezzo in Italy, and Hanover in Germany. So essentially what they do is that they will connect markets that will drive your business growth. But they also have tailor-made solutions that will meet your needs. Check them out. Fantastic group of guys there. Trust them to maximize your value in every deal that you reach with them. Call them on 0302 998 246, 0302 998 246, or 02655053337 and 05610322252. MNC Group, totally reliant. Andy, your thoughts on this? It's been running. This award scheme is running for 6 years, so it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, it's been around.
Were you ever contacted?
No, I wasn't ever contacted.
Even when you were minister?
Well, not this group.
Oh, not this group, another group.
Some other organizations contacted me and offered me a doctorate degree.
Really? Why don't they?
How much are you supposed to pay?
Oh, they requested for money.
How much?
I can't remember. I mean, I never took any of them seriously, beyond just reading the emails and just.
But Andy, you said something very important. You know that now there's something called the PhD ring.
PhD ring.
PhD ring.
Oh, really?
You can get it in the UK and you can get it in the United States of America. It's a ring.
And that confers PhD
plus,
ring.
Yeah, plus a certificate.
Hey.
And in some places, $1,000. They give you a PhD.
I really didn't think that I needed it.
Okay.
You know, because if I want a PhD, I know the route to use to obtain one, which is to go back to school. I've been considering it though, but I don't know whether the time will allow me to do that. You know. But that said, I associate myself entirely with the sentiments that have been expressed by Kwesi on this subject matter.
Validation, eh?
Safe to say that I was a little concerned with the practice of the executive secretary to the president always issuing letters when really these are matters that I think can be dealt with in a different manner than issuing letters and putting it out in the public domain.
Epistles.
And lamenting, if you like. Because last he wrote was on May 5th, I believe. Long lamentations on the actions and inactions of some appointees that was defeating the agenda of government. I think that they should rather be focused on cracking the whip internally as opposed to putting out lamentations in the public domain. I don't think that it really speaks well of them. I'm tempted to think that the center really cannot hold. These are all people who are very closely associated with the president. Those names that are popping up as being interested in the flag bearership of the NDC are all people who are closely associated with the president. So the expectation that he will sack any of them, I think it will be really difficult for the president to sack any of those people whose names have popped up. But their actions, like Kwesi said, is really going to impact his administration. And I do not know why internally they cannot resolve these differences and really get the people to focus on the work that the good people of Ghana has entrusted the president with. Last week's issue in the media between the Ministry of Finance and Agric was really scandalous. I mean, when I saw the exchanges, I was like, wow, what's happening? These are two important ministries, Finance and Agric. And for the Finance, the Agric ministry to even question statements that are made by the Ministry of Finance really puts into question the data that is emanating from that office. True. So all the numbers that are being churned out, how can they really be trusted? And the investor community is looking. And really, ultimately, like I've always maintained, that I don't wish the government ill. I want them to succeed, okay, and to do well for Ghana. It doesn't mean that they cannot lose an election if they perform. But if the information that is coming out from an important ministry such as Ministry of Finance can be questioned in the manner that it was done, official rebuttal, outlining, key budget limits that the finance ministry itself have imposed, which then suggests that the figures that the finance ministry is saying they've released to the Agric ministry cannot be supported by the data or the information within the public domain. It's really worrying. And I think that it's about time that the president, now that he is back in town, give him the benefit of the doubt that last week he wasn't here. Now he's back in town. He should really put his foot down and ensure that these issues do not rear their heads within the public space. It doesn't speak well of its government at all. We are politicians. We are opposition political party. And these are raw meat that if you give us, we'll chew on. But ultimately, how does that help in advancing the cause of our country?
Right.
I don't think that this kind of actions, omission and commission on the part of the ministries is good for our development cause. And the president should really rise up and make sure that his people are brought in line.
Well, he says that the appointees have been assessed, and sooner rather than later, people will be shown their scorecard. So it looks like a reshuffle is imminent. Very soon, there will be some movement. Even though Al-Kwesi believes that it should have been done a long time ago. But of course, the president says, I'm sure that he knows what we don't know. And so we'll grant him the benefit of the doubt. We'll see how it goes. But there are some people who are of the opinion that perhaps the recipients of the awards should have been made to return the awards as a first sign of instilling discipline amongst appointees. This is go and give the awards back to...
And take the monies back?
Well, we're assuming they paid.
The monies have been spent. Look, there are two ways.
Well, we don't know for a fact.
There are two ways.
But not everybody who attended paid.
Oh, no, we don't know that.
No, but so where are you going to sit? You have to pay for your table at the very least.
Yeah, 25,000.
Yeah.
There are two ways.
And 50,000.
The organizers of these events, I'm not sure about this particular one, but normally there are two ways in which they make the money. The proposed awardee pays for the award. Okay.
Yes.
And the biggest figure I've heard so far is £30,000 sterling.
For which one?
Oh, Kojo Tumbo.
The UK one.
Yeah, I wanted to be.
He didn't go.
Yeah.
He didn't go.
He refused the
Yes.
award. And in fact, Kojo Tumbo made a statement which I found was so elevating yesterday. He said, look, the real people who need the awards are the ordinary Ghanaian workers in the streets whose minimum wage cannot feed their families. They are the people who deserve the award.
That's deep.
And I thought it was so deep. I mean, yesterday, my admiration for Kojo Tumbo shot through the roof. I was so impressed by him. Those are the real people who need the awards, not us, not the CEOs, who in most cases are over-pampered and so on. They don't need the awards, So that was a great statement that he made.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that there are two ways in which the awarding organizations make their money.
Right.
You pay for the award given to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we are told that they can reserve tables for you. You understand?
Right.
And that sometimes one table is 25,000 cedis. So if you want 3 tables to be reserved for you, for people to come and cheer you as you get the award, that's 75,000.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. And some people pay for more than 3 tables.
Oh, yeah.
Pay for 10 tables and so on. Because they want their applause to be loud as they receive the award. What I'm worried about, and yesterday I also heard Dr. Kwesa White, who says that he's going to scrutinize the accounts of the companies which he supervises, the state companies. And that if he finds that in any of the accounts, such payments have been made, he will flag them.
He will surcharge them.
He says he will flag them. Whatever that means, But to think that state resources were used in paying for this ego-boosting craze.
It's not acceptable.
It's clearly not acceptable.
No, it's not acceptable. It's
ego-boosting craze.
Resources.
And then it gets worse when the recipients turn around, look us in the face and grant interview saying, as for me, I deserve it. Isn't it sickening? All right. And there are 30-something ministers or more. And you think that you are the best of all the ministers. What arrogance.
Yeah.
You believe that it is okay to single you out as the best performing minister. There must be a certain level of arrogance for you to get to that stage. I lie?
Well, I understand.
A certain level of immodesty. You have to be very, very immodest to think that of all the ministers, you there, you are exceptional. You are better than Haruna Idrisu. You are better than Tia. What is his other name? Ibrahim Tia.
Yeah.
You are better than all of them. You alone. That's a level of arrogance and immodesty which should not be tolerated in any government.
Okay. All right. Obviously, let me just do lots of messages. I need to bring in my viewers, and then we can use just 5 minutes. Flooding thing we've been talking about it since last week, so we'll spend the last 5 minutes to pick your thoughts on flooding.
Are you not satisfied? You want to discuss?
So Master Planner Jr. says that a great submission by Bobo. It's always a pleasure listening to him. Sedinam Tamaklo is back. A court has already dealt with her case and she was found guilty of stealing Ghana's money. Let us focus on her case and leave Ken Ofori-Atta alone. No court has found him guilty of stealing any money. If anyone has any proof of him stealing money, he should bring it out. Until then, Ken will not step a foot in Ghana here. Sedinam, welcome to serve your 10-year sentence. You really deserve it. Master Planner Junior Policy Analyst from Kintampo. And this one here from Mansa Musa, who is sending us a message all the way from the UK. He says, Moro, my big brother Kwesi Adejapa have both spoken very well. What is the work of the Chief of Staff? Seriously, some discipline will have to be enforced. Otherwise, what's coming will be unpleasant for all concerned. Good morning from Mansa Musa. Alaji Hamza from Pig Farm says that, good morning, my brother. I totally agree with Mr. President 100% for such a brilliant statement issued on warning his appointees. This is the time for us to work hard to deliver to the citizens the promise we made to them in our manifesto than to be going around receiving awards. We should not forget that we'll be going back to the same people in 2028 to ask for their mandate, and they can only endorse us based on our good works in 2024. But some of us at the moment know appointees who are sleeping on the jobs and those who are so arrogant and power drunk and have no respect for the grassroots. But Moro, Professor White should also be invited to provide us with evidence to support his claim. It is very important we're talking about the poor taxpayers' money. He didn't say he paid anything. He says that they requested, but he didn't give. Peter T. from Shukura says that, good morning. I want you to ask the MPP rep on your studio if he has agreed and has bought into the judgment of the judiciary granted Bronya bail. If the answer is yes, then he should stop the political hypocrisy, because in the history of any cross-fertilization of ideas, that's good for the what is good for the geese is also good for the gander. He should not be confused to get his facts right to stop misleading the Ghanaian populace. They failed to do justice to the economy, and as a result, Ghana was dwindled and cut to size, which saw the Ghanaian effort to be able to meet even 2 square meals a day becoming a problem. Our system completely collapsed, and that we saw the youth travel to other sister countries to seek for greener pastures. They should stop lamenting 2028 is not far. McLean says that, McLean, happy birthday to Francis Yensu Apia Esquire, Western North Regional Director, Legal Aid Commission. May God's grace and blessing be with you today and always, from your brother and friend McLean Desmond, MD, Seshi. We also happy birthday to you, Francis Yensu Apia Esquire. Happy birthday to you. And Mr. Kofi Kapito is back. You asked a question. You wanted to know why he said I was looking bad on the Ken matter. He says, you refuse to listen to Mr. Pratt and the Japa. Ken can be tried by the AG today if they want to. So that's where he's coming from.
Oh, okay.
Now, Reverend Jules Latte is a journalist and also a lawyer and a pastor. He says, if extradition is not necessary for anybody to be tried, why does the U.S. government want Abu Trika to be extradited to the U.S.? The answer is simple. The government wants to arrest Ken and go through the judicial system. Ken currently is outside Ghana. So it is reasonable for Ken to be brought to Ghana by force to face trial. Ken can exercise his right to be tried in absentia on the basis that he will not receive fair hearing in Ghana. And then Prince Henry, he wants to become the Eastern Regional Communications Officer of the NDC. He says the MPP should know that what goes around will surely come around. The MP can be happy today that Madame Sedinam is back to serve her jail terms. The MP should be happy when the law bites any MPP member or the future is pregnant. Carlos Modojojo, that's my final message. He says that on the issue regarding the return of Selinam Tamaklo, let me use this opportunity to congratulate the government for bringing her back to the country. As much as we commend the government for the effort, we expect the same level of commitment, determination, and urgency in ensuring that Ken Ofori-Atta and any other officials who are evading accountability are brought back to answer questions regarding their stewardship in office. Furthermore, the former Energy Minister to the PDS man has several questions to answer concerning matters that occurred during his tenure. We therefore urge the government to expedite action and ensure that all allegations of corruption and wrongdoing are thoroughly investigated and addressed in accordance with the law. It is important that appropriate measures are put in place to protect the country's resources and strengthen accountability and governance. Carlos, and I say, God bless you. Now, unfortunately, I won't be able to read the other messages. I'm so sorry, because there's just too many of the messages that have come through. Oh, so Kojo Chumbuafu was actually listening to you. He says, good morning, Moro.
Which one?
Kojo Chumbuafu, your very good friend, FIC.
Oh, he?
Yes, yeah, he was listening. So he says, good morning, Moro. If a Japan Mesa did wish us ill, we would have had to put an enamel pot over our heads. Oh, if a Japan Mesa did wish us ill, we would have had to put our enamel pot over our heads. Okay. All right, so obviously, flooding is killing us. We still can't deal with it. We have just 5 minutes to deal with this because Mike will be joining us shortly. But we're trying to come up with as much solutions as we can to deal with it. The president thinks that, look, NADMO should map restricted lands to curb flooding risk in Accra. So everybody knows that these places are flooded. Don't go there. That's one of his suggestions. And then Mama has also been cracking down buildings in waterways after Accra floods. And he says when we bring these buildings down, the same Ghanaians will go and say government is insensitive. You know, to the plight of the people, you're not giving people a place to sleep. They have been able to put a place, and they are bringing all these structures down. So it's a very tricky and a very difficult situation. But the tough decisions would have to be made. I mean, just 2 minutes. Where do we go from here? I mean, what sort of hard decisions do you think we should take? That's the Sakwana Ramsar site. Terrible. Look at what's happening there. It's an ecological site. You know,
I mean,
people are putting buildings there.
There's an old problem which should have been solved a long time ago. And even for this year, these instructions are too late. I mean, we knew from the end of last year that the rains were going to be particularly heavy this year. So it appears too late in the day to be calling for these remedial actions and so on, whilst admitting that it is not the fault of the current government because it's a perennial problem, it's a long-standing problem and so on. I still think that we should have taken action much earlier than we are doing now in order to address this problem.
Andy, where do we go from here? It's a tough one.
See, it seems to me that we really don't take our own commitments seriously. Because yes, I agree that this is a perennial problem. It's been with us for years. And so when President Mahama and his team were making commitments to Ghanaians in their manifesto, which was launched in August of 2024, they knew the issues. And they promised that given the chance, they are going to fix the problem that previous governments had failed to fix. Less of us want to say that, well, we say these things in our manifestos for the sake of it, knowing very well that let's get the power, and when we come, we put it somewhere and do what we think, will take us through the 4 years. Because otherwise, look, we can't blame previous governments. Last year, the president set up a task force, anti-flood task force. What work did they do? They knew the rains would come. Consistently over the years, prior to the onset of the rains, monies were released for desilting of drains. Was it done this year? Was it done last year? Such that the flooding situation last year and this year are the way they are worse. So, Mr. President, the Ghanaians who had faith in you, based on your commitments on pages 67 and 68 of your manifesto, can't wait till thy kingdom come. Yes, we agree that you cannot deal with the problem in year 1 or year 2. But where's the plan? Where's the commitment? Have you seen any storm drains being constructed across this country as the president and his team promised us? Where are the engineering solutions? Where's the pathway such that by the time your 4-year mandate ends, we'll see you actually dealing with this problem? There's nothing. The focus rather is to spend our monies on markets that will be occupied by ghosts at night and humans during the day, such that you commit huge sums of monies because your 24-hour economy is not economy. So by means, do something and name it 24 hours. When we have existing markets today that don't operate 24 hours. That's the priority of government, too. That's the priority. Okay. Rather than deploy the limited resources that we have in dealing with. Look at this. Look at this.
Such a nice one.
People are suffering. People who believed in your manifesto.
Okay.
That you had the solutions to these problems. Then when you go and say, they say, hey, MPP had 8 years. Why? Mr. Mahama didn't have 4 years before that. NDC did not have 8 years before that.
Okay.
He knew these issues. That's why he made these commitments in his manifesto.
All right.
And what are we seeing? Now they are telling us stories. Today, it's not a government who has to be responsible. It's chiefs and the indiscipline of Ghanaians that is causing these floods.
Okay. All right.
What we are being told now is excuses.
But, Jaffa, you were in power for 8 years.
Mr. Mahama was in power for 4 before that.
So,
in August 2024, he knew that the MPP hadn't dealt with it. That's why he promised to deal with it.
Okay.
Is he doing it?
All right. There's something else we need to deal with. It's a World Cup. My colleague Michael Kofi is here, and he has the latest updates as far as the upcoming football tournament football event is concerned.
Wow, look at this. Look.
And yes, it's sad, but it is what it is. Michael, what's up? Good to see you. How are you? What is the latest filler in town? So tomorrow indeed, the World Cup kicks off.
Yes, the World Cup kicks off tomorrow, and the latest filler is that IMG Ignite Media Group.
Okay.
We're launching our World Cup coverage this evening.
Okay.
This evening at Estilos, Chado.
Okay.
From 5 p.m. through to about 8-9 p.m.
Okay.
We're sharing with our viewers what our grand plan for the tournament coverage is.
Okay.
But Team Ghana, more of their issues.
Issues in Team Ghana?
Yes, there are issues.
What's happening? Let me sit well. What's happening?
In fact, yesterday, a colleague of ours, Eboa Pia, who is very close to the team, made a revelation on a radio station that the better part of the budget for the team has not been released.
Really?
By the finance ministry. In fact,
hold on. We were told an amount of 150 million.
Yes, that was in November.
That was in November.
Yes, so that's the challenge, because November to now is 7+ months.
And you mean the 150 has not been released?
Yes. In fact, we have run checks, and the checks have revealed that indeed the better part of the budget has not been released. As at first week of May, it was 40 million plus out of the 150 million.
Okay.
That has been released. And you see, the late release, because now the dollar is going up. May dollar was around 10.2, 10.3.
Yes.
Now, yesterday I changed some dollars for 12.3.
Okay.
So dollar is going up. So now the budget.
You mean it's the CD that's depreciating?
Yes, because the payments we are going to be doing and all of that will be in dollars.
Yes.
So it's a big challenge. You know, in recent weeks, we will not want to get into the politics. We are focused on sports, but in recent weeks, we have seen the banter between the Agric Ministry, the Agric Ministry and the Finance Ministry. But with the calm nature of the Honorable Kofi D. Adams and his composure, we do not expect that he will come out to rant. But we have experiences, so it is important that we call on government to do the needful. In 2014, We know what messed up our World Cup campaign in Brazil, where he had to get to the point where we had to fly money from Ghana. We saw the embarrassment on the global front. So we still have a few days to the start of the competition. We have exactly 1 week to the start of Ghana's campaign. Ghana will play exactly a week from today against Panama. 1 week is enough time to put our house in order. We don't want a situation where there will be a standoff between the FA and the players, because these players, I can tell you, are going to demand their monies. More that they will demand for. Even if these players will not, I mean, they don't have that intention. There are people that will go behind them and tell them that if you don't demand your money and you play, it will be a struggle getting your money. And we qualified for the World Cup on the 12th of September 2025. Almost 9 months ago, we qualified for the World Cup. In November, there was the announcement of 150 million budget, $13+ million. So we knew that we were going for the World Cup. We knew that we were going to spend. Nobody forced government into making that big announcement.
Have you done your checks with the finance ministry to find out what the cause of the delay is?
Moro, we have, in fact, to be in all sincerity, with the finance ministry, we have made calls, but we have not had the responses from there. But we have checked with other stakeholders.
Okay.
You see, but this whole, and in fact, I've monitored some of the conversations. This whole issue about the budget, the appearance fee, and all of that is a big issue. But unfortunately, that is where we find ourselves. And people,
but why
$100,000
US for
that is it.
Why?
See, that is the bigger challenge. And I feel that we
had
a unique opportunity.
Because the other day, I was asking you that can we get a data on what other countries are paying their football their players
that's
as appearance
I'm saying that.
And let's compare, because I've seen something.
Yeah, in all sincerity, I have not seen any country that is paying more than or as much as Ghana is doing.
I've seen countries pay $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 appearance fee. Why are we paying $100,000?
You see, it is the African countries, mainly those that are paying these outrageous amounts. Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire. But even Cote d'Ivoire is not paying as much as $100,000.
What are the monies? Are the amounts arrived at based on what the players are demanding, or FA sits down and says you deserve X amount of money, so we're giving? How is it arrived at?
There is a proposal and then there are negotiations. So the ministry together with government, the FA together with government, led by the sports ministry, will make a proposal to the players. And then they sit with the leadership of, you see, but it is as if the pamper is too much. More, look, after the number 12 expose.
Because you know what I'm scared is. My gut feeling is telling me that there's probably some lack of understanding between the finance ministry and the sports ministry regarding some of these payments. And if you know how so far the finance minister has been going about things, he was talking about fiscal prudence, reining in expenditure. My suspicion is that perhaps even regarding these issues of how much we pay as appearance fees are things that have not been concluded, and that is why the rest of the money have not released. I suspect so. Otherwise,
I don't know, but I would not want to believe that, because these things are factored into the budget. I mean, the larger budget is appearance fee times 100,000 cedis times 26.
Is that something that
times 26?
That's something that
this
the
is
budget.
I think
is
that
something the finance ministry has totally agreed.
No, but the finance minister announced on the floor of Parliament.
Okay.
During the presentation of the budget for the 2026 year, he announced that was November last year.
No,
but you see,
let's not spend so much time.
You see, after the number 12,
it's important. I mean, Japan has just showed me something. England is paying between $25,000 and $60,000 as appearance.
England, with all the resources.
England, Germany, France. European nations.
Ghana is paying 100,000. There must be some justification for this.
You see, And more, that's why that's what I'm saying. That after the number 12 expose, there was a new FA president, and the NPP government also had taken over not too long.
Yes.
So I thought that we had a unique opportunity to have sat with these players and let them know that we are starting everything afresh, and we cannot continue to make the Black Stars a money-making machine.
Yeah, but you see, you're saying this based on a certain assumption that this is what the players want.
No, but that's how they put it. No, Moro, that is how the managers of the team put it. But that is why they are managers.
There's a fundamental problem. That fundamental problem is that you have a GFA.
Yes.
Which doesn't have any money of its own.
Yes, it doesn't.
Which largely depends on government to finance its activities.
Yes. The national teams.
Yes,
the national teams.
But which at the same time claims that it is independent and not subject to public scrutiny.
Yes, per FIFA rules.
Yeah, but this is the problem.
More, you see, we exaggerate this
independence
interference. No, because government is the one. Government, government is the one putting in money. So how do you say that the government cannot be part of decision making? You see, what FIFA frowns upon is using powers to, as it were, influence elections and the system, the structure.
Okay.
So, for instance, today the president says that, okay, Keto Kreku has been removed as GFA president. That FIFA will not allow. But not issues of accountability, transparency, value for money, and all of that. Because FIFA in itself, why is Sepp Blatter not president of FIFA today? FIFA in itself undergoes some form of scrutiny.
That's fine. So be that as it may, yes, we still have money problems, but the World Cup is kicking off tomorrow.
Yeah.
Have we concluded on who we play next as our final friendly?
No, I do not think the team would have that finally.
Why are we considering playing our final friendly match in some or outside of the full glare of the public? Why are we doing that? In some hideout somewhere? Why?
Well, I think that the people who manage the team are better placed to explain this, but I don't see the need for that. I mentioned yesterday that the teams that have got confidence in what they are going to do at the World Cup, they are the Germanys, the Englands, the Argentinas, the Spain. They are playing friendlies at the full glare of everybody. They are allowing spectators
to do the same. You don't have to do the same. We have different strengths. We have different circumstances. Look, football has developed to the extent that now, on the field of play, handlers, when they speak, they don't even want the movement of their lips to be noticed.
Yes. But that will not happen at the World Cup. At the World Cup, FIFA said that if you do that, you'll be flashed the red card.
Yeah, no problem. But I'm saying that it's developed to that extent that some secrecy and so on has become important in planning strategy and so on. Given all the weaknesses that we have, if the handlers decide that they need to prepare in secret, I have no problem with that.
I mean, as for that, there are no issues. But today also, I mean, we are here struggling with money, where we say the finance ministry has not released the better part of the budget. Today, sports thrives on broadcast rights. It generates money for leagues, for teams, more than any other stream, even more than headline sponsorship. So if we are playing, I mean, these international friendlies, you could easily generate $4, $5 million, $6 million from television rights. So we must take a look at that the revenue we generate as against what we get from the secrecy and balance it. But if the managers of the team feel that this is the best way to go about it, we cannot fault them.
But I am deeply worried about the over-commercialization of sports, which is what this World Cup in the US is raising.
Yeah.
It's been over-commercialized. I mean, I was listening to some documentary which said that, for example, commuters to the match in New York will have to spend about $150 just on commuting and so on. I mean, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Football has other values. Sports has other values which need to be promoted.
Yeah.
I know that you have to generate some resources in order to make it work and so on. But that's only one small aspect of it. You understand?
But if the appearance fees haven't been advanced to the players at this time, a week to the tournament.
Serious.
It's serious. Especially when FIFA is paying every team $10.5 million for the group stage alone. 1.5 million for preparations and 9 million for participating in the group stage. So if government is paying, pre-financing the appearance fee for the players in the region of some $3.5 million, it really isn't excusable if the monies have not been advanced to the team at this time.
Anyway, so you know what? I wish I could speak to the FIFA president. You know, the Somalian referee, whom America is saying they don't want. So they've asked him to go back after interrogating for 11 hours.
What?
FIFA should, yes. They said the guy can't come to America. They should, it's 3 countries hosting the tournament. It's Mexico, America, and then Canada. They should send a referee to the other 2 countries hosting the thing. And then when America is about to play any of those teams, they should let that referee officiate it. You say you don't want me. I'll officiate the thing for you.
Obviously, the US is violating all the rules as well. Look what they're doing to the Iranian team. Even tickets for Iranian supporters have been cancelled. What is that?
And it flies against the spirit of the tournament. Anyway, Michael, thank you. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been always wonderful talking to you. Ngozi, I want to thank you very much for joining us today. I didn't know you were so passionate about sports. You know, so passionate about sports.
But Uncle Kwesi is an Nkrumahist. Yes. And the late Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was very passionate about sports. In fact, he set the foundation for our sports, except that some government did not pay the necessary attention, because if you speak to the people of the older generation, they will tell you that the best times of the Black Stars was in the early 60s.
Okay.
And in the early 60s, we want. All right. Yes. Even
I want us to devote the next 1 minute. So tomorrow's launch is happening.
No, it's today. It's actually this evening. So let's take the opportunity to extend invitation to Uncle Kwesi and Honorable to pass.
Where's the venue again?
The venue is Estilos Lounge at Chado.
What time?
If they go to if they go on Google Map or any of the commercial transport apps, and they type Estilos, ESTILOS, starting at 5 p.m. But the event is also live on Metro TV.
How's it going to be?
We're having reps from the sports ministry, the tourism ministry, to tell us how we're going about this World Cup. I've always mentioned that there are the tangible and intangible benefits. The tangible, whatever cash we're getting from FIFA and our participation in the tournament. The intangibles, how we're able to sell brand Ghana. They will be telling us that. The MD of Metro TV and programs manager would also be telling us what Metro TV has in stock for our viewers, not just Metro TV, but Ignite Media Group, Original TV, Original FM, and then our digital platforms. We also bring in some ex-players, some coaches to do critical analysis on the Black Stars team. Uncle Kwesi has been raising a very solid point. We'll be glad to have him on the set this evening so that he tells us more about the points he's raised this morning.
I'll drive him there in my Wrangler vehicle.
Okay, yes, we'll be waiting for you more.
Yes, that's the only way I can convince him, because he likes Wrangler cars. Once I park in front of his office, he will join us.
You'll join, okay, sure.
Yes, at 5 p.m. today. Anyway, Uncle Kwesi, thank you very much for joining us, and also Andrew Ejiofor-Mensah. Thanks very much for joining us today. My name is Aldo Mo. Thanks for watching Good Morning Ghana. See you tomorrow, inshallah. Bye-bye.
We may have different names, but our hearts beat just the same. We are one.